But I still don't understand why we can't grow our sub count. It's been 6 months.
We're cute and heavy metal and horror. Who doesn't want to watch that?
My employers have a keen interest in this property in particular. They think it's a unique location.
They sent somebody out here a few years ago to close the place. They're talking about opening it back up now?
There may have been some oversight in the previous inspection.
Let me take a picture of you.
Right now?
It'll be good for the podcast. Here, let me get that headset behind you.
So there was just a person in the graveyard with us last night.
Stacy, this is a ghost.
You're trying to commune with the dead.
I'm not seeing shit, Stacy. Shit's happening to me.
I'm starting to think that Lillian and I are being haunted.
It's starting to feel just like the band all over again.
You want to explain to me what we just did?
There's something going on in that graveyard.
I've warned you over and over again, and you still wouldn't stay the hell away from here.
I need to know if what I'm seeing is real or not.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Wednesday, and this is the Death Rattle Podcast. It is 7 p.m. here on the East Coast, 3 p.m. over there in Alaska land, where my co-host, Mr. Kanan Becker, is. Midnight or 1 a.m. over in the UK. Who gives a shit? And this is the Death Rattle Podcast. What's going on, man? Or I am your host, DJ Remark, and with me, Mr. Kanan Becker in the beautiful state of Alaska. What's up, buddy?
What's up, man? Yeah, I'm in the middle of nowhere, Alaska, too. Like the town, she's not even in a town, but the town that she's near, that my sister's near, is got a population of 330 people.
Wow.
Yeah.
That must be nice.
It's interesting. I mean, like, we just had to go to get some groceries in a little while ago, and we take like a 20-minute drive to, and even then it's this tiny little, like when you go camping, those little kind of grocery stores, it's that kind of thing where it's basically an AM PM sort of thing. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
You're looking good, by the way, man. You looks like you've been losing weight.
Trying to.
Yeah, you look good.
Working out. Although it's been rough, dude, being here because I've been able to work out while I've been up here. So, but
yeah,
I'm only here till Friday. I fly back Friday, so.
Well, that's not too bad. You're not gonna lose out. You're not gonna lose too much progress there, just as long as you're keeping up on your protein and all that.
Yep. My diet has still been good. Although I did eat pizza and birthday cake yesterday, but.
Oh shit! Pizza and birthday cake.
I was still able to basically get I think I went 100 calories over my daily calorie intake. I just didn't eat much at all the rest of the day.
Well,
so how you been?
Been all right. I haven't been losing the weight like you have. I've been hovering. I think like I've just been hovering around the same 3 pounds for the last month and a half. But I just got to get tighter on my diet. That's all it is. I gotta track better. I gotta just keep eating the same, which I've done for the last few weeks. I've actually eaten the same 3 meals. So like I just gotta keep doing that.
Yep.
Like I just had corn on the cob for dinner.
That's what happened to me. I was hovering forever, and then I just made a little slight tweaks and basically started just eating the same thing every day.
Oh, I lost you. I lost your audio. What happened?
Check.
Are you there? All right. I got you. I got you back. Hello?
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yeah. I got you back. Okay. Woo.
Yeah. Because it was showing me. So I'm like, oh, great.
Yeah. All righty.
Yeah, because
well,
I'm using new wireless and using my phone. So I thought about using my tablet or my laptop, but I think this will work better as far as reception instead of trying to use a hotspot.
yeah. Well,
'Cause
you're
there's-
coming in. You're coming in okay. Just we had just a little audio, but that's okay.
Yep.
But we got a lot to talk about today. So let's say hi to the chat.
Super busy week.
Yeah. What's up, Casey? Good to see you. It says just can't believe it. Still hasn't hit me. Chances are I'll be a blubbering mess watching the piano by the end of the week. Goddamn. Yeah, I watched In the Mouth of Madness in memory of Sam Neill. So R.I.P. We'll talk about that for a little bit.
Yep.
Smiley, what's going on? Good to see you, buddy. What's up, Solo? Good to see you. Mr. Wonderful is in the chat. What's up? Tenderloin Stew. What's going on? Seeing you. Let me see here. I don't know what kind of sentence that was. What's going on? Seeing you. Who? John Connor's in the chat.
Good to
All
see
right.
you.
R.I.P. Mr. Neill to a friend to horror. From Omen, Final Conflict, Dead Calm, Event Horizon, In the Mouth of Madness, and Daybreakers. Some of my oh yeah, I think Daybreakers. I think we've talked about this before. I think Daybreakers is an underrated film.
Super underrated. I talk about it every now and then, and people are always like, "What? I never heard of that movie." I'm like the cast of it is so good. Like it's crazy.
Yeah,
it's like one of my favorite vampire movies because it's so different.
John Connor says we're rolling in Hellgate. Yep. Solo says, what does one have to do to get that pig mask? It's actually the band member's mask, Solo. So if you go follow MRSA on Instagram, MRSA, just go follow MRSA, send him a message, see what you can do. But it's the guitarist's, that's his mask.
I think if it's the one I remember, because you're talking about the one that he like in the movie, right?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's one that was at Spirit Halloween, but I don't think they sell them anymore because I had one. I might still have it in storage, but I had one and then I like did some like shit, like kind of altered it, but it was a Spirit Halloween. And so I would recommend, besides messaging MRSA, because I'm sure they'd love to hear, from you, but I recommend going to Spirit website because they carry a lot of shit on the website that they don't really have in the stores anymore.
Yeah, so
you might be able to check it down that way.
What's up, Go Dog? Good to see you. Saya's in the chat. Finally, we've been missing you, Saya. How's it going, girl? Good to see you.
I thought she was here last week.
Well, was she?
I think so.
Were you here, Sarah? All right. Well,
man,
anyway.
check out this view.
This stream is just going to be the Alaska stream.
No, but I mean, look at this, dude.
Yeah, man, it's gorgeous.
She lives on a lake with like a mountain right there. And then I don't know if you can see it, but this way behind her house is these mountains with snow on them still. Like it's crazy.
That's gorgeous, man.
Yeah, they got a boat right here.
Flytrap Jones says, I missed y'all last week. Way under the weather. I'm here to indulge in some horror stuff now. Well, welcome back. Happy you're feeling better. Tony says, hey, can't wait to hear your reviews on Evil Dead. I loved it. All right, Tony, we will get to that.
We'll get into it.
Let me see here. Darren, what's going on? Good to see you, Darren. I think that's everybody. Did we get everybody? John Connor says, do you read Sutter Kane? I love that. That whole shot in that movie when they're in the diner and he's just all the way, he's all the way across, like he's all the way on the other side of the street and he just walks forward and then just crushes. It's so good. It's so good.
I'll never forget the first time I watched that movie. Like that scene got me like, because it's like you see him coming, but you don't realize, you know what I mean, until he's like right at that window. Yeah. Because it's so early in the movie. You have I don't remember even seeing trailers for that movie because I don't think I saw that one in theaters. I'm pretty sure I rented it at Blockbuster. And it was one of those where I just saw it was John Carpenter and it had Sam Neill. So I'm like, all right, I'm in,
What's up,
but yeah, I don't think I saw that one in theaters.
Oh, yeah, that's right. She says, I was here last week, but I was out with back issues for 2 weeks. That's right.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, let's get into it. Let me pull up. I lost all of my tabs for some reason on Chrome. Sorry, fucking dead air. So I have to like get all of my tabs back up. This is
Yeah,
the
I
big
can't
news.
pull up my notes.
This is the big news of the week. Bloody Disgusting says Jurassic Park actor Sam Neill. I call him Event Horizon actor Sam Neill. I call him In the Mouth of Madness actor Sam Neill. I call him
Yep.
Sam Neill. Possession Sam Neill. That's right.
Yep.
78.
The Omen.
New Zealand actor best known for his role in Jurassic Park, arguable.
Or The Omen 2, right? The Omen 2
whatever.
the one
Yeah,
where
Omen
he's
2.
the Antichrist.
Has passed away this week at 78 years old. In a statement shared on Neill's Instagram page this morning, the actor's family said that his passing was sudden and unexpected. And it wasn't this morning. It was 2 days ago.
Yeah.
Neill had been diagnosed with rare blood cancer in 2022, but stated the following year that he was in remission. The family notes that he remained cancer-free at the time of his passing. The family statement reads, "It is with immense sadness that the Wanau of Sam Neill," that must be a New Zealand thing, shared the news of his passing on Monday, Monday, the 13th of July in Sydney, Australia. Sam was surrounded by family and passed with the dignity that has characterized his whole life. The loss was sudden and unexpected, but blessed by the fact that Sam remained cancer-free. They would like to express their deepest gratitude to the staff at St. Vincent's Private Hospital for their incredible care. More details will be shared for later. And respect the family's privacy. In addition to his iconic role as Dr. Alan Grant in the original Jurassic Park and the sequels Jurassic Park 3 and Jurassic World Dominion, Sam Neill left an indelible mark on the horror genre with memorable roles as Andrzej Zulawski's Possession, The Omen, Final Conflict, John Carpenter's In the Mouth of Madness, and sci-fi horror favorite Event Horizon. Sam Neill's vast resume in film and television began in the early 70s. And also includes the films Sleeping Dogs, Enigma, The Good Wife, A Cry in the Dark, Dead Calm, Hunt for Red October. Oh, that's right. He is in Hunt for Red October. That movie's so good.
Yep.
Memoirs of an Invisible Man, Hostage, The Jungle Book, Snow White, A Tale of Terror, The Horse Whisperer, Bicentennial Man, Daybreakers, Escape Plan, and Thor Ragnarok. That's right. He was in Ragnarok.
Well, he was also in Jurassic World Dominion.
Yeah, that's what they said.
So, but we have one more acting role that is still to come. So that was exciting to find that out because it was kept under wraps, or I think they let it out because of the fact that he passed. But he's also going to be in the next Godzilla Kong movie.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. I'm sure it's not a very big role, but even still, just to get to see him one more time, like we did with Tony Todd, like that's pretty cool.
Sam Neill is survived by his 4 children and 8 grandchildren. Steven Spielberg said in a statement to Variety, "I owe a debt of gratitude to Roger Donaldson, Gilliam Armstrong, Graham Baker, and Philip Noyce for casting Sam Neill in the roles in which he was so brilliant that brought him to my attention and led to his playing Dr. Alan Grant in Jurassic Park. Sam was exceptionally collaborative. It was a stretch for him to play a character who acted as though children were messy and smelly because this was the opposite of the loving father he was to his children. I adored making all the Jurassic movies with him." Spielberg adds, "Along with Laura Dern and Jeff Goldblum, we will always have our Jurassic family, and Sam will never be forgotten by us or his many millions of fans around the world." And then,
the post from the kid actors from that movie is heartbreaking, man. Like,
I'm sure it is.
They looked at him as like family. Like, he's one of those guys that everybody I've ever heard, it's not even now a guy who's passing, but like just every time you hear anybody ever talk about him, was just he was such a great guy to be around and a fun person.
Yeah.
So
Bloody Disgusting got this photo credit wrong. It says Sam Neill and Event Horizon in this. This is not Event Horizon.
Nope, that's In the Mouth of Madness.
This is definitely In the Mouth of Madness.
That's at the end, actually. It's like the very, very end.
Yeah.
That's right, because that's right before he goes and walks outside.
Yeah. I have that shot of him in my banner on the Horror Sucks channel.
That's like one of my favorite pictures of him.
I know, it's so great. It
was one of the only horror things I almost got tattooed. Like, I almost got that picture tattooed. But I ended up
let's
not
see what
getting
the chat has
stuff.
to say.
Yeah, I mean, he's one of the few celebrity actors that it actually really bothers me. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Because it's like we're all going to die. So it's like, especially by the time you get to my age, you start becoming like, it's just a natural part of life. But it was like like Robin Williams was one, Tony Todd was one. You know, there's just every now and then there'll be one that is just a huge part of your life, and that was the way
Ozzy
it was
Osbourne.
for me with him. Ozzy didn't even bother me as much because I knew
Oh,
Ozzy was
Ozzy
gonna
bothered
go. Like Ozzy was like any time, like he just was. To me, I felt like Ozzy
Yeah,
was living
sure.
on borrowed time.
I
You know,
mean,
it was like Sam Neill was still like, dude, I did not realize he was as old as he is.
yeah.
Like I thought he was in his 60s. Like he was so vibrant, and all the way up, like the last times I've seen him act, like he just still had it all. Like it wasn't like Ozzy. I mean, I'm not saying I wasn't sad when he died, but it just wasn't surprising. It was like, you know, it'll be like when Mick Jagger goes. You're like, well, of course, Mick Jagger. You know what I mean? It's like he's on
Sure.
borrowed time. So
Yeah,
with
sure.
rock stars, it's always a little different for me. But
Flytrap Jones says all those Sam Neill movies were awesome.
But yeah, Jurassic Park was like, it's literally the first horror type of movie I ever saw in a theater.
Mr. Wonderful says, I like the scene where he sees only blue on the bus. Yeah, that's a great, that's a great, that whole movie, man. It's so good. Somebody said in the chat something that I've always said, and I'll pull it up and read it. But people are talking about fishing in Alaska. That it sounds a lot of fun. That's why I asked if that's what you were doing. You posted that picture on your Facebook, of the dock, and I was like, "Are you going fishing?"
No, it is stocked.
It's that
so
dock.
Like I could be fishing there because it's
go catch you some salmon, man.
Yeah, no, I got too much work to do, and then when I'm not working, I'm spending time with the boys. So because I got these 3-year-old and a 6-year-old. So
well, that's fun. We'll go fishing with them.
Yeah. Well, we're going. We've been busy because yesterday was my oldest nephew's birthday. So all day was spent decorating and then running around chasing him and these kids everywhere because there was like 12 kids here. And then tomorrow we're going to the like one of the famous what do you call it? The big ice things. Space know what they're called. Like the big ice cave things or whatever.
Yeah, sorry. Give me a second.
But I forget what it's called, but we're going to that and like I forget the city we're going to, but there's like a bunch of like cool stuff. We're gonna go to like some tribal like places that make jewelry and things and look at stuff like that. So we've been busy, but fishing hasn't really been a thing because my brother-in-law, who would have the fishing poles and the boat and all that, he's had to work the whole week.
Yeah.
So
Bryce is enough says I really enjoyed his character in Dead Calm with Billy Zane and Nicole Kidman.
Oh yeah, Dead Calm, dude. He was great in that. He was in so many movies. Like if you look at his IMDb, like I was the other day, it's just crazy. I'm like, man, he was in so many movies.
Yeah. Darren says he was in remission but died from pneumonia, which he'd been battling for a few months. It sucks.
Yeah. But he was still posting on Twitter up until I think his last post was in May. So like he had been still very active. It's just, so at least like, yeah, he got sick and he died and that sucks. You know what I mean? But at least like he lived a full life and he beat cancer. He wasn't like, you know what I mean? It wasn't like it deteriorated him to nothing and then he died. That's the worst way to go. Like I hope, like I wish that no one ever had to go through that shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like the way he went is how I wish we all could, like old age, get a cold or whatever, it gets bad enough and it just takes you. You know, it's like it's about the best you could ask for. So
yeah.
Especially if you get to spend it with your family and have your family around you and
Heather says R.I.P. Sam Neill, loved him as an actor and was a great human being.
Yep. He was a philanthropist too. Like he's famous for all this stuff he did working with kids and charities and he's super beloved in Australia as well. Anyway, let's get into some of these exciting other stories. Like the big one of the week, the biggest one of the week, besides of course Sam Neill.
Right.
Yeah, if you want to read it. Did you pull it up?
I got it. I'm about to share it. We are gonna get another Nightmare on Elm Street movie,
which I've been saying for months now. because I can't say who, but I know some people that are involved in the team that has been working to get this made. So hopefully, if it ends up all continuing to go forward, I might have like a little bit of insight behind the scenes and stuff as it goes.
From Bloody Disgusting, Freddy's back. A new Nightmare on Elm Street movie is in the works at Paramount. It's been 16 years since Freddy Krueger was last seen in the Nightmare on Elm Street reboot movie starring Jackie Earle Haley, with complicated rights issues playing a role in the franchise's complete and total silence over the past several years. Today, that silence ends. According to a new report from The Hollywood Reporter this afternoon, which is 2 days ago, Paramount Pictures has closed a deal for the U.S. rights to the original screenplay of A Nightmare on Elm Street. Paramount's genre label, Paramount Primal, is behind the upcoming franchise reboot. THR explains in further detail the U.S. rights are being licensed from the Craven estate, which includes Craven's widow, Aya LaBunca, and Craven's son, Jonathan Craven. The duo will produce the new iteration with Mark Toberoff, the attorney-turned-producer who specializes in copyright law. J.D. Lifshitz and Rafael Margules will executive produce for Paramount Primal. Quote, "We look forward to bringing the world of Wes Craven's Nightmare on Elm Street to a new and completely engaged generation of fans." Aya LaBunca said in a statement to The Hollywood Reporter. I think that's Aya, right? Aya?
I can't
LaBunca?
see it. The
Doesn't
screen's like this big.
We know that Wes would have been thrilled to see how horror is taking its long overdue place in the cultural canon. We can't wait for all of us to sit together in a dark theater around the campfire of today as the next chapter of the Nightmare story unfolds. We can't remember a time before we were fans of Wes Craven, says Lifshitz and Margules. The fact that Aya and Jonathan have entrusted us with this opportunity to help usher a new story into this world is an honor beyond words. We look forward to working alongside them to bring a terrifying new nightmare to audiences everywhere and to welcome Freddy home. The Elm Street franchise had, of course, previously had a home at New Line Cinema / Warner Brothers, but the Craven estate was able to regain the rights to the original screenplay. THR notes, New Line retains the international rights to A Nightmare on Elm Street. So that's going to be interesting. Freddy Krueger's upcoming return is said to be set in the world of A Nightmare on Elm Street based on the original screenplay. No further details are available at this time.
Yeah.
Does that mean we're going to see Heather Langenkamp again?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I think so.
I think so. I don't think that this is. I don't think this is going to be. Well, the only thing is she did die in the franchise, so I could see them bringing her back as possibly like someone who's not supposed to be Nancy, but as like.
Well, she has
You know
to be
what I mean?
Nancy. If Heather Langenkamp is in a movie that is in the world of the original screenplay, she has to be Nancy. So yeah, if she's dead, then she. I don't know how they're going to do that.
Well, that's what's tricky here because. Well, no, that's what's tricky here because they can't really use any stuff from the other movies, only from the original, because that's the only one that the Craven estate owns the rights to. And so I don't know if they're going to like do one of these things where they do a sequel from like based off of the original only, which would mean that any of the other movies aren't like in effect, you know what I mean? Which would mean she could be alive. You know what I mean?
So that would decanonize everything else.
Yeah.
That sucks.
I know.
I don't want 3 decanonized.
So that's one direction they could go. But the other thing is they might work a deal out with Warner Brothers anyway, because they don't have the rights overseas. Warner Brothers owns the rights overseas. So, but there's the whole merger. And so everybody's like, none of this matters because Paramount is buying Warner. And that's why they're doing this and moving forward.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Because they know. And then if that was the case, they would own the rights to everything. Friday
Right. They would own. Yeah. So then they would have. Yeah. Then they would have worldwide. So yeah, that makes sense. Yeah,
either way, it doesn't in any way from things I've heard behind the scenes, as well as from this story, it doesn't in any way sound like they're trying to reboot it as far as like they're not going to remake the original.
Yeah.
Which is music to my ears because like I would like them to have a new Freddy and all that, but I don't want another remake of the first movie.
Right. Right. And the last line in that story was, is Robert Englund coming back? Stay tuned. No, he's not.
No, he's definitely not. He just came out and tweeted some to the effect of that Nancy, the Heather Langenkamp needs to be brought back, and get the chance to say farewell to the franchise like all these other final girls have, But
Yeah.
that he basically he's got no desire whatsoever. I don't know if he tweeted it or if he said it in an interview, I forget, but he's said it many, many times. But I am almost positive he'll have a cameo.
He will probably have a cameo.
Yeah, he'll be
like a
teacher
janitor or something.
Janitor, yep.
Like
exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
But that's what I think, depending on what they do, I could see them doing that with Heather Langenkamp as well.
Yeah.
Like not having her as plain Nancy, but playing a cameo and have some makeup on or whatever. So it's like, it's her, but it's like, or have her come back as like a dream. There's lots of ways you could do it. Even
they
if
could
she
do that. That's a
dead.
good idea.
Even
she
if
could
she
be
is
in
dead.
she could be in the dream world. That's interesting.
Because that is one of the
there's-
only interesting things they did in I Know What You Did Last Summer. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's one of the only good things they did in that. I thought it was a smart way of bringing back what's her name? The model.
Sarah Michelle Gellar.
Yeah, Sarah Michelle Gellar. Like that was actually one of the best scenes in the movie.
There's 31 people watching right now. Go hit that like button, please. And share
up, guys?
this. Go share this on your socials. We want to grow this audience. Come on, folks. We're at 412 subscribers. Get us to 500 so we can monetize this bitch. Mr. Wonderful says, spoiler, there will be no boobs in the upcoming Freddy Krueger movie. You don't know that. Probably
Has
not.
there ever been boobs?
Yeah. Yes.
Kinda. We sort of see
Nightmare 3 definitely has them. It's with the nurse.
Oh yeah. Okay. Well then
I think Nightmare 4 has them. Well, Nightmare 4 has them behind that screen, which I still think was kind of hot. Is that Nightmare 4? Where they're behind the screen and like that chick like puts her chest against, that white, like it's all those bodies in that like sheet.
I thought that was 3 because isn't that when?
No, that's not 3. That's not 3. It's either
it's 4.
I think it's 4. So
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't know. I need to rewatch before. You know what we should do? Before the movie comes out, like once it's officially announced, like when it's coming out, we should do a thing where each week we watch a different one and we come back and talk about it on the podcast for a few minutes.
Yeah,
so
man, I'm all about that.
rewatch the franchise because that would be fun. Because I think honestly, revisiting a lot of them, I'd feel different about it as well. Like even the remake, which I despise, I bet if I were to rewatch it, I would hate it less.
I don't know if you would hate it less, but I mean,
well, there's elements of no matter what I'll hate, but I think I might have. I don't know, maybe not. But that's what's fun about going back and rewatching stuff like that you haven't watched in 20 years.
Yeah.
Because like I've watched some of them. Like I've rewatched the original. I've watched the first, second, third. I think that's it. I've rewatched all 3 of those within the last couple years, but everything else has been many years since I've watched.
John Connor says Nightmare 4, hot chick in the waterbed. How's this for a wet dream? Oh yeah, you see her boobs in that when she's getting pulled under? I think so.
That's the thing about it. What I was saying is you don't really get like full on boobs. You get like quick little shots.
You get like
of
side boob, yeah.
Like even in the first one when she's getting pulled up to the ceiling, you kind of see her chest for I think a second there. And there's like even in the second one, there's some stuff where there's like partial nudity, quick nudity. But it's never been a franchise, not like Friday the 13th, where you're like,
right, where you're spraying your cooch with perfume.
Yeah.
Dude, that scene is so goddamn funny.
It is.
It's so fucking funny.
But that franchise also has the hottest woman naked period of any horror movie I've ever seen. And that's Voorhees. I forget her first name. But it's like, what is it, Friday the 13th 4? Yeah, I think it's Friday the 13th 4. It's the one that was made by a porn director.
Oh, well, there you go.
And like, dude, she is so fucking hot. It's a scene where she's fucking the dude in the woods.
I don't remember.
Dude, she's so hot. So hot. Anyway,
anyway, Mr. Wonderful, you don't know that.
People need to chill the fuck out on this. Like, they are not going to cast any actors that you're going to think of. Like, they're not going to cast these old fuckers. Like, everybody's like Kevin Bacon or what was the big one I keep seeing? That one actor who's in like tons of horror movies. He's in like Rob Zombie horror movies and stuff like that. I love him. He was in 31.
I don't know. I
forget
I
it.
don't.
You know who it is, but I'm Richard Brake. Like a bunch of people saying Richard Brake, and I'm like, dude, Richard Brake is amazing. And if we were talking about this 20 years ago, I think Richard Brake would be perfect, right? But they're not going to cast someone who's already like 60 something. You know, they're going to cast a young person because if this does well, they're going to want to keep it going. That would make no sense to get the franchise going again, to have an actor that's so old that you're not going to be able to use them for long.
You know who I think would make a good Freddy?
Who?
Paul Dano.
Yeah. But that's just because Paul Dano is one of those actors like who could do anything. You know, he's like one of those actors who is so damn surprising that like whenever he does these weird roles, you're like, what? The other guy that could do it is what's the name of the guy that did because he did the Joker, like he's gonna be the Joker in the Batman series. He did just you only see him in Batman in the first and Matt Reeves Batman. You only see him briefly.
Oh, but at the end. Oh yeah, what is his name?
That guy, he could, because he's terrifying, and I think he would be good. Because what it comes down to, though, is it isn't about how, and that's why I think it's not going to be anybody you're thinking of, because it isn't about how they look without makeup. You know what I mean? It's about how they act, because they can do all, they're going to cover him and make him look all these different ways.
Yeah, you're not going to know that it's Paul Dano in that makeup.
It's the voice. The voice is important, and then their body language, the way they carry themselves. Like it wasn't.
Well, they're going to put a modulator on his voice anyway, because that's what they did to Robert Englund. They dropped his voice down like a whole octave to be Freddy.
Well, yeah, but if they could find someone that already has like a prominent voice, because I think they would rather have someone and only have to do a little to it rather than someone who's like, you know, high pitch and they got to basically do a different voice actor, basically. You know, because I think that worked back in the 80s, but I think a lot of people would be bothered now. Because I mean,
no, he's a dream demon. He's a dream demon.
But you could do some cool ass shit. I mean, look at what's his name that did Nosferatu. You know, the most recent Nosferatu. Yeah, Skarsgård. Remember his voice in that? They did absolutely no effects on that.
Well, so like
if Skarsgård,
I don't know if I see Skarsgård as Freddy though.
Well, I'm not saying Skarsgård, although I think Skarsgård could be anything.
I agree.
He's one of those actors that could do it. So, but I think he's the type of actor, but more of like the way he was when he became Pennywise, where he wasn't someone you would think of to play the role, and yet he now embodied that character. And I think that's what's going to happen with this, because they cannot make a Freddy that looks exactly like Robert Englund and does everything just like for Robert Englund.
Well, and they shouldn't.
We need to have a new one and just pray to God that it's cool.
Right.
Like they did with Pennywise. Because if that's the only reason it worked, because if he had just tried to look exactly like Pennywise from the TV series, you know, makeup and acted the same way and all that, it wouldn't have worked. Because it would have been a fake knockoff, you know? The reason it worked is because they took the same inspiration, but he made it his own, and they changed it enough that it was like, you know, this new version. And now, like a lot of people, I love both. Like both versions are amazing. And like that's what I want to happen here, where it's like he's not Robert Englund, but it's a new type of Freddy, and I still fucking love it. Like it's badass.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I'm nervous about it. I'm really nervous about it. Just like rolling into our next story, I am very nervous about Crystal Lake. So have you watched this teaser yet?
I have not watched it yet. Sorry, I'm trying to pull it up.
Yeah,
like
so
I
let's
said,
play that.
All of my shortcuts got wiped out, so I gotta.
It shows practically nothing. Like it's a very, very quick teaser. And so I'm not even saying that from the teaser it makes me doubt that it's going to be good. It's more of, we know we're not getting Jason. Like, we're not getting Jason in this, at least in the first season. It's going to be little boy Jason, because they're basically, from everything that's come out, there's numerous stories, and then this little teaser trailer, it's very clear that this is going to be the first Friday the 13th movie made into an entire season of a series.
Tenderloin Stew says Paul Dano is too soft. He specializes in characters who are kind of pathetic. He can be creepy, but he isn't especially intimidating. Well,
I disagree. I just think he's a go ahead.
Well, the only thing, the response I have to that is, and there I go, losing it again. The Joker.
Yeah, the same actor I was thinking of, right? It's like he was in
I don't know why I always fucking do this. A Knight's Tale.
You're talking about someone else. I'm horrible with names, so I'm the worst person to try to get.
Yeah, I don't know why. I don't know why I'm fucking doing this. It's on the tip of my tongue. It doesn't matter. Nobody thought. Everybody was clowning on him.
Yeah.
For the Joker, nobody thought he was going to do it except this guy.
It's just like I said about Skarsgård. Before he was
thank you, Floyer Frau, Heath Ledger, thank you. Ledger.
No one thought Skarsgård would be a good Pennywise, dude. Like, that's what I'm talking about. And so trying to come up with someone you think is the perfect person, you're thinking about them without the makeup. And like, these are actors, the best actors. I mean, like, for instance, did you see the trailer for the new I Play Rocky movie?
No.
Dude, this guy is doing as good of a Sylvester Stallone as I could have imagined. Like, it's crazy. But yet, if you see this actor before he took on this role, you would never be like, yeah, that guy's going to be perfect casted as Stallone. But yet he nails the voice, his look, because he, a little bit of makeup, but everything. These are actors. Like, the best ones, like Paul Dano, can transform. And I almost think it's better because it like makes them more like moldable, you know what I mean? Because they're transforming into this character instead of just playing themselves. And that's what I think everybody's, confusing when it comes to casting. They're trying to think of someone that reminds them already of that.
Yeah. All right, let's watch this. Here we go.
It's like someone put a curse on this town. It all started when that kid drowned last summer. There's something in these
Hopefully
woods,
it's not choppy for everyone.
All it knows how to do is kill.
Mommy's here. And Crystal Lake, oh, we love you.
Oh, wait. Oh, okay. So that's it. Okay, well, I mean,
it's only like 30 seconds. That's what I was saying. It's just a teaser. And looks like they got the look really good. Like, it very much looks like Crystal Lake.
Yeah.
I just don't know how interesting it's going to be to watch an entire season where we already know, one, we already know the end game. And two, like, the first Friday the 13th was not very good.
No, it wasn't.
Like, Pamela Voorhees is really not that interesting of a killer.
No, she's not.
So that's why I'm like, I just don't know. Like,
F's in the chat.
I'm hoping I'm wrong, but I just feel like they should have started when Jason was already Jason.
Sorry, England. F's in the chat for England. England's out of the World Cup. We'll start it. F's in the chat.
What? They
England's
lost?
out. Yeah.
I thought it was Sunday.
Diddy just said England's out.
I thought they were in the final.
They played today. They played today at like 2.
Oh, they did?
Yeah.
Who did they play? I thought they were playing Argentina in the finals.
I guess so. I don't know. I was busy all day today. I had no idea.
Once America was out, I've kind of checked out of it anyway.
So yeah, me too. I was like, yeah. Once America was out, I was like, yeah.
I mean, I do have a friend over there, and she's a huge fan, so I was hoping for her sake, that they would win. But
yeah, and my buddy here is from England.
Yeah, so Argentina won. So Argentina won 2-1.
Well, congrats, my my doppelganger.
So then, was that the final, or is because I thought the final was Sunday.
I think there's one more round.
So one more matchup. So that's Sunday. So who is it? It's Argentina versus.
Nobody put an F in the chat for England. Come on, guys. F's. I already started it. Put an F in the chat.
What does the
for
F
England.
stand for?
It's just a meme. Just put F for, it's like fail or something like that. Thank you. Thank you, Heather. Good God.
Okay, so what do you
30
think?
people watching.
So what do you think? I mean, it looks like it's going to be well produced. I mean, it's A24. We knew it was going to look good.
Oh, it's from Call of Duty. I just looked it up. You press F to pay respects in Call of Duty, so that's what it is.
Oh, okay. I
thank
vaguely
you.
remember that.
Thank
I
you.
used to play Call of Duty. Modern Warfare. That was the last time I was into Call of Duty.
Gaston says it's Argentina versus Spain. So
Okay.
That's the final. And say in the final better have boobs. I'm sure if you look hard enough, you'll
Oh man, there's been some gorgeous fans, especially like Mexico. They had some beautiful women in the audience of their games.
Latina, dude. Latinas are.
I know. I love Latinas.
They're just psychos. They're just all psych. Like all Latinos start at a 7 on the crazy scale. Like they all just start there. Sorry, and that's not racist to say when it's scientifically factual. So shut up.
Well, and most Latina women will tell you, "Fuck yeah, we're crazy."
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I love Latina, man. Latinas are amazing. I grew up around Latinas, but I've always had a thing for Latina women.
Yeah. So, all right. What do we got next? Are we doing? It's 7:46. What time do you have to leave? You have another show that you're doing.
Yeah, it's what is it? 5 o'clock my time, or 5?
I don't know. It's gonna be 8 o'clock Eastern, which is gonna be 5 o'clock your time.
Hold on, let me look at my thing.
Okay. Well, while you're looking,
what is our next story that we have on the doc?
Evil Dead Burn review.
Is that the last thing we had? We didn't have any other stories.
It's not the last thing. I'm skipping one.
Okay, so what time is it there?
That I thought was boring. It's 7:47 right now.
Yeah, so I have until 9:50.
Oh, okay. We have first look images of Josh Hartnett stars in the Sea Creature series Below.
Yeah, I just heard about this, and one, I'm a big fan of Josh Hartnett, but two, man, bring on the fucking sea monster movie or TV. Like, I'm excited for that.
All right, you want me to pull that up?
I don't know anything. I don't really know anything about it. What do you mean it's boring?
Boring.
You don't like sea monsters?
I mean, yeah, but who cares? Hang on. Where the fuck is it? I'm not finding it on Bloody Disgusting. Come on.
Don't worry about it. I know it was there because I seen the highline from it.
I'll find it. They just post every hour on the hour. They have a new post that I have to. Oh, they did a revisiting subspecies. Those movies are underrated.
I've still never seen them.
They're not. Here's the thing. They're not good.
Yeah.
However, there is like a charm to them. The makeup effects are awesome. And the guy who plays the main vampire, I forget the name off the top of my head, is just giving it his all and is totally immersed in that character. And it just it has really good set pieces and atmosphere. And so you can like buy in. But
are they American?
Yeah, it's from it's from Full Moon. They're Full Moon movies.
See, that's probably why I never checked them out, because most Full Moon movies suck ass.
I know.
Like, I know there's a lot of fans of Full Moon, and like, you know, God bless you, but I just.
Hey man,
like
Charles
the only
Band.
Full Moon movies that were decent to me was the Puppet Master. Like a couple of them were fun.
Charles Band has something figured out that not a lot of people do, and you know,
dude, I mean, I love like it, dude. Like, I have no problem with what they do. I just generally don't like their movies. Like, like I said, very rarely do I see a full moon movie that I'm like, yeah, this is cool.
Radu, that's it. Thank you, Flytrap Jones. Radu, yeah, I mean, and for Mr. Wonderful, there's plenty of boobs in the movies. So
yeah, I'll check them out. I've heard of them forever. I just have never watched them.
Yeah.
I think I even have them on my list because I was going to do another vampire video coming up before too long. And that was one
There
of the
you
ones that I was like, because no matter how many movies you watch, dude, you always got blind spots, especially when it comes to older movies. As hard as it is to keep up with the newer stuff, much less go back and watch the old stuff.
Oh, I know exactly what you're talking about. Sorry, I just had to go get my coffee. I had to go get some more.
I had fun with Scary Movie. I didn't think it was nearly as bad as people are acting like. I mean, it's not great, but like,
I thought it was fucking awful.
I just don't know what people really want from a scary movie. Like, they're just dumb. Like, that's just what they are. So,
well,
I mean, I don't think it's as good as their like first two or whatever, but like, I mean, how many franchises are like? It's very rare that a franchise will keep them up going, and they're all consistently good.
All right, well, let's look at this. So below first look images, Josh Hartnett stars in Netflix's Sea Creature series, which is surprising because it's a white dude. Joke. From creator Jesse McCowan. Netflix's Sea Creature series Below is swimming our way this October, and Entertainment Weekly has the first look. Josh Hartnett stars in Netflix's upcoming series Below alongside Charlie Heaton, Mackenzie Davis, Rowan Campbell, Ruby Stokes, Caleb Horn, and Will
Rowan Campbell. Fuck yeah.
It follows a grizzled fisherman, Hartnett, who must fight to protect his family and his community when a mysterious sea creature terrorizes a remote Newfoundland town. Entertainment Weekly previews. Thankfully, Calvin's not alone on his quest to confront the unknown. In an effort to keep his son Wade, Charlie Heaton, and their family safe from harm, he joins forces with marine researcher Fonda Mackenzie Davis to learn more about the creature that lurks below the waves and along the way their island's hidden history. McCowan teases, quote, folks here have been dealing with unexplained phenomena and tragic events for hundreds of years. Killer storms, maritime disasters, the collapse of the cod fishery, people going hungry. Surviving the winter here can be a horror movie in and of itself. So these strange events fit into a long history of unimaginable difficulties.
Dude,
he notes
sounds so good.
He notes that the series is inspired by the work of Steven Spielberg and John Carpenter, two filmmaking titans who, well,
yep.
Sorry. I read the complete wrong name. Filmmaking titans who similarly inspired Apple TV's hit horror comedy Widow's Bay, which I still have to see. That's on
me too. Everybody, dude, it's like,
yeah, dude, everybody's like watching
amount of Emmys.
I know. 35 people, go hit that like button. 35 viewers right now. Hit the like button, hit the like button, hit the like button. Share the show, please. Share the show.
Yeah, I've been planning on binging Widow's Bay, but I'm just like, I'm not gonna get Apple for more than like 1 month. So I'm waiting for all the episodes to be out so then I can just go binge them, you know, because I'm not going to keep it for multiple months to be able to finish the show, you know.
Below looks to scratch a similar itch, though perhaps with a bit less comedy. The six episode limited series arrives on Netflix October 8th, 2026.
And I've said this for years. The only good horror thing that Netflix ever does is series. Like, there are multiple good horror series on Netflix, but there is almost no horror movies.
So, you know, the whole teal and orange color grading, like, meme in movies?
Yeah.
They left out the orange in these looks. I mean, like, this is all just teal. They just put a teal look at this. They just put a teal filter on all of these screens. Like,
yeah, but we don't know like if that's what the actual show looks like, and we don't know who took these pictures.
Like, look, my God.
Yeah, I know, but like, yeah, I mean, if it looks like that, it might get a little tedious, but we don't know, like, you know, there's a lot of variables when it comes to like the color choice, like color grade this thing. So
yeah,
but I'm excited, especially because I love Josh Hartnett, and like what you just said there reminded me of the character he plays in 30 Days of Night. And so I'm like, man, that could be really cool. Because he was like this grizzled, like, you know, police chief. And like someone said, he's not grizzled. It's like, once again, he's a fucking actor. Like Josh Hartnett can be grizzled. Promise you, he can look grizzled and act grizzled.
Yeah. Okay. Well, do you want to talk about,
Yep. Let's get into it.
We have 5 minutes left before you have to leave. So yeah, I guess let's get into it.
Don't. We have like 2 hours left.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you had to leave it. I thought, okay, fine.
No, hold on. Let me double check again. I don't have to go until 9:50 your time.
Oh, okay.
And what time is it there right now?
7:55.
Yeah. So literally 2 hours.
Okay. All right.
I need to like go grab a snack and pee and all that before it.
Yeah,
so,
we're not going to go for another 2 hours. Sorry, guys.
No, but I'm saying I can go for another half hour, an hour.
All right. Well, I just finished my coffee. Heather says Josh Hartnett is too pretty to be grizzled. What does that mean?
No,
all right.
That's what I'm saying. Like, do you not remember his role from 30 Days a Night? Like, he looked like he was beaten up and like exhausted, and like he's a good actor. Like, he can be a lot of things. I also don't think that people understand what grizzled means. You know what I mean? Like, grizzled doesn't mean ugly. You know what I mean? It just means rugged. It means like he's a hardworking, kind of tired, like salt of the earth type of thing. All right, so let's get into it.
Okay,
we won't spoil anything. Maybe towards the end, we'll give you guys a warning if we're gonna get into spoilers, but we'll try to not do anything spoilery at all, at least for a little bit.
All right, so I'll give the good of the movie, and then I will give the bad. The good is that I really enjoyed a lot of the cinematography in the film. I thought there were a lot of really interesting shots. I thought it was shot very well. My favorite shot, and I'm going to describe it so it won't be a spoiler, but it's in the bathroom with you see part of it in the trailer when one of the Deadites puts the shower curtain over her head.
Yeah.
And then like walks up the wall and then up the ceiling, and then the camera turns to show how.
That was so sick, dude.
Yeah, that was super smooth.
That. There was a lot of shots like that where like tracking shots and things where they would actually shift your perspective, and I thought that was pretty cool. Yeah, like, because it kind of gave the whole movie like almost like a dream quality.
Yeah, so I thought that was really good. And then the special effects and the kills and the gore was just so fucking gnarly. Like, it was so fucking gnarly.
It is the grittiest, I think, goriest in the franchise.
Probably. There was just,
2013 is pretty fucking brutal, but I actually think this one takes the cake. Like, there was a couple things in it, like the smash, and then what they do with the smash later on. Like, that was fucking crazy. I was like, that is so gross.
The one that I was like, oh, ew, was when he gets boiled in the lake. And this is in the very beginning.
Yeah,
and then she like steps on his hand. Very beginning. Like,
that was sick, hand. Dude.
Yeah. I was like, ugh.
So, it was gross, but it was also like really cool. I was like,
it was really,
because I've never seen like skin flop off like that. Like, that was pretty fucking cool.
Yeah.
That whole open right there was pretty cool because it was similar to Evil Dead Rise, like the whole water, thing, like where the chick flies out of the water. But they did something different with a lake. I also thought it was pretty cool that they don't have a cabin in this, but they still found a way to do somewhere that's isolated.
So
instead of being like Rise, where it was like in an apartment and it felt very, very different in that regard, this one still did have that isolated feeling, I thought.
So that's the good. The bad in the movie is everything else.
I knew you were gonna have major problems with this movie.
So,
because like a lot of people have beef with the writing and the characters.
The script is fucking awful, and the characters are even worse. They're the
don't see it, man.
They are the
get
biggest pieces of shit. Okay, I will describe to you how all of these characters are shitty people, and I was rooting for the Deadites to fucking murder them. And
yes,
was so
there's
happy.
only one dude. That's
no, there's not. There's not a single character.
Bullshit. The lead girl is the only one
she's
that
a
is
piece
redeemable.
of shit too. No, she's not.
How?
She's a piece of shit.
Hold on.
Okay, I'm going to tell you. She kisses what's her name. She kisses what's her name's husband and gets all flirty. Does the whole separate present thing, and then even says these words come out of her mouth. As a French person, we give a hand job as a hello. Fuck you, slut. No wonder your husband is so pissy at you. But no, we are not. We're supposed to ignore that, and we're supposed to brush that off because he's supposed to be some piece of shit. Which again, yeah, he was. He was a huge piece of shit. Everybody in that family is a piece of shit. So was she.
She kissed the dude on his cheek. They're old friends.
Yeah, because she missed his lips. Watch it.
No.
And then they don't develop that at all.
But that is literally a French thing. That is literally a French thing.
That guy's a squirrely coward.
Oh, I hate that guy. I hate that guy.
But here's the thing. He was my favorite character until the car scene. And then the car scene happened, and I was like, okay, so this is where this movie's going. We're just going to have characters make dumb fuck decisions because we need an excuse to not like them. And we're going to force sympathy onto this main chick who's not sympathetic. And then the other, the other wife, also not a very sympathetic character. Like she kind of was, but then she turned into a Deadite and was just super fucking annoying. And which is like fine because all the Deadites are annoying. However, I couldn't wait for all of them to die. They all fucking sucked. The script sounded like it was written by somebody whose first language is not English. And it's very apparent. And when you look at the writer, surprise, the writer-director, first English, first language, not English. And so you just have characters speaking very awkwardly and weird. The story, like they try the tonal inconsistencies of this entire movie, like all of the jokes fell completely flat because
I don't agree at all.
The Evil Dead movies, they always have this tongue-in-cheek.
Thought it was so funny, dude. Like the grandma.
It's so fucking annoying. Funny. It's eye-rolling, cringing, annoying humor because we spend 5 to 6 minutes in this dinner scene that's supposed to, like, I don't know where they got the inspiration for this scene. It's so stupid and forced and just out of the blue. It's not out of the blue, but it's just like nobody fucking talks like this. And if they did, why are you even standing? Like, if I was that girl, I'd be like, I'm leaving. I have no reason to be here. And nobody thinks the way that these people are supposed to think. Like, nobody really thinks that way. And everybody's so two-dimensional. They have one motivation, one singular goal. And that's what influences them this whole time, except for the mom who like gets turned into a Deadite, but then doesn't get turned into a Deadite, but then does again. And then spoiler, but I'm seriously,
what happens.
I'm not ruining this piece of shit movie by doing that, but here,
that is not what happened. That's
really
not what happened.
So when her eyes changed and her voice modulated after the scene, that's not her being a Deadite. That's her being a human.
No, she's influenced.
Also, where did this like Deadites are now a disease thing come from? Like, I don't remember that in any of the movies. We're just adding lore now. And why do the Deadites want to destroy the Necronomicon?
Hold on. What do you mean, dude? It's always been a thing. The women always, or the people when they die, always turn into Deadites.
I don't remember that.
Pass it on, but when they die, they turn into Deadites. That's how we get Deadites.
No, you're right. Okay, you're right. But I'm talking about this specific scene where she gets turned into a Deadite.
Not killed, and then she's not a Deadite.
And then does again.
I think she is influenced in some way, and yes, that is different.
Her eyes change, the voice modulates. She becomes extremely violent and attacks people.
I think she is controlled, like being like. I got the impression that she was being, because of her love and everything for her husband, that he was influencing her, but that she wasn't fully changed into a Deadite because she was still alive. And then when she kind of falls out of the spell of that with all stuff with her son, you know, she falls out of that spell. But then later on, she becomes one. You know what I mean?
So we're just
And
introducing
there's a
new
few
lore
things.
out of the blue.
Well, yeah, but I mean, like,
Why?
hello, that's what all the movies do. All the movies add a little bit more. Every one of them.
But
I mean,
we
look
have,
at all the shit they added in the
instances-
TV series,
Wait,
man.
but we have instances. We have how many Evil Dead movies where this just seems random? It doesn't seem like you're building on the lore. You're just adding this weird random.
No,
now,
did you
now
ever
they can
see
have
the series?
now they can have mind slaves somehow that
Did
also
you ever
look
see the
like them.
series?
Huh?
Did you ever
No, I
watch the
didn't. No, I
series?
didn't watch the series, and we've
Well,
already
dude, the
established
series
this.
has
You
tons
don't
of
need
this
to have
stuff.
to. No, we've already established this. Movies need to stand on their own. They can't. And this is why I get so
does.
pissed off when I hear this. No, it doesn't. So if you're asking me that, did you watch the series? Because then the series makes sense. The Deadeyes can now have mind slaves that look and act
Hold
and
on,
sound
but
like them.
But
Then
if
that's
you hadn't
stupid.
seen,
That's
hold on,
terrible writing.
pause.
It's terrible writing.
If you hadn't seen any of the movies, well, then how would you not think that would happen?
If
you hadn't seen any of the Evil Dead movies, what would make you think that it wasn't a disease or that it wasn't you pass it on or whatever? You know what I mean? Like you're taking past knowledge about their movies into this and saying, hey, they're doing something different. They're changing the rules. And I'm saying, no, they're just taking the series into the equation as well, because the series has a ton of shit they do. There's all kinds of supernatural elements, and that's why Lee Cronin's The Mummy is also attached in this universe, because the series adds a whole bunch of shit. You don't have to see the series. Like, it's not like stuff you need to know.
It sounds like you do.
There's just more supernatural things that they can introduce in these movies.
Because they're building off the series.
Like, I don't remember seeing
because they're
Jedi
building off the
levitate.
series? Because they're building off the series?
No, because they're in that same universe. And so there's lots of other things you can do. It's just like if you watch the series, you don't have to have seen the movies, but if they're going to do things in the series that they hadn't done in the movies, they're going to expand the universe. And so, like, most of this movie, you don't need to know anything about any other Evil Dead movie. So it is standalone. You can hate it. That's
you'd be
fine.
saying they're building off Rise.
They're building off all of them. Every one of the Evil Dead movies.
Okay, so
hands the baton to the next. Not
so
saying they're all perfect
or
whatever, but this is one thing that you're wrong on, dude. Like, that's not even a matter of opinion. It is what they're doing. Like, you may not like it, that's fine, but they are slowly evolving this universe.
Okay. When you're evolving a unit, like, do you think that there's an Evil Dead like Bible that they like pass around?
Yeah, I think Raimi has a pretty good.
Okay, well then this guy ignored it.
I don't know if no bullshit, dude. He worked with Raimi big time behind this, dude.
And then ignored it.
Shots with Raimi on.
You can
set.
say that all you want. Fine, you can say that you worked with Raimi all you want, and then you can completely ignore it and do whatever the fuck you want.
Because everything in this was greenlit by Raimi. Sam Raimi was very involved in this movie. Like he signed off on the script to start.
Oh well, it sucks. The script sucks. The movie sucks.
I think it's great.
A terrible movie.
I think it's great. It's my favorite Evil Dead since 2013. Like, I like it better than Rise, and I liked Rise. But see, you hated Rise.
Yeah, did I hate it? I forgot about it.
Yeah, you hated Rise. And did you like 2013?
No, I thought the 2013 remake was great.
Okay. At least you got there. But no, I love this movie, dude. I think everything you said, I disagree with. I thought it was. But here's the other thing.
You thought the script was well written. You thought that was a well-written script. You thought that the characters went really. Okay, why?
For an Evil Dead movie? Oh, like for what an Evil Dead movie is, the Evil Dead movies have never
always do this. You always fucking do
It's
this.
because I judge something based on what it is. I don't look at a dog and say, "Why aren't you a cat?" Like,
I'm not doing that either. What the fuck?
They're never. What I'm saying. Let me talk. What I'm saying is, Evil Dead movies are never deep scripts with like super complex layered characters. 2013 was probably the most complex. Or it was the most complex. The only one that was, and it's the only one that's kind of an outlier and doesn't feel like an Evil Dead movie, is Army of Darkness. And I love Army of Darkness with all my heart, but it's the only one that doesn't really feel like Evil Dead. The rest of them, it's a pretty simple story with simple characters. Like they just are. They're never like a super complex script. They're just not. I mean, go back to the beginning.
Would you agree with me that Evil Dead 1, 2, and Army of Darkness were all made with their tongues firmly planted in their cheeks? Would you agree with me?
Yes, that has changed. Changed with 2013.
That changed with 2013. Fine. So why the fuck is this movie putting in these dumbass jokes that
because
are not
funny? They're just not funny to you.
They're not funny at all.
No, there's actually a lot of humor. And I figured out something, and you may or may not agree with me on this, but I think this is part of why I like this movie so much, and people like you and Cecil didn't like it, and I'm going to be arguing and defending this movie all fucking night, because after this is over, for the people that don't know, I'm doing the Davey Death Ray podcast, and Cecil is not a fan of this movie either. He has a lot of the same problems that you had with it. We watched the movie. Mike had the same issues, but then you have Daniel from Cobweb Channel that was with me and loved it. So it's like this movie is very divided. It's very interesting because people that we generally kind of agree on a lot of the same stuff were very divided on this one. And I think part of it is that this movie is very, very French inspired. It has the meanness of a French extreme, the gore, the way there's the gray palette. Like the first half of the movie is gray. There's like no color. It's void of life. And then in the second half, it gets like bright reds, bright blues. Like there's so much of this that feels very, very French. And that also includes the humor. And I thought it was very funny, but I also watch a lot of French horror movies. And so I think I've gotten to where like I kind of vibe with that French dry kind of mean sense of humor. And I don't think it lands for a lot of an American audience. You know what I mean?
It doesn't land for people that enjoy comedy and that have well-placed timing and jokes that don't just cut through. Yes, I can.
Dude,
jokes that don't just cut through these super tense moments that are supposed to be set up to be this like familial drama where you have these characters that are mourning over their dead son. They are trying to figure out how to respond to this. It's a brutal death. There's been contention in the family, all of this stuff. And then all of a sudden the grandma makes a fart joke out of fucking nowhere.
Okay. That's your ass
funny?
Off? Hold on.
So in The Bear, right? You've seen the show The Bear?
No.
Oh, okay. There's a similar scene in The Bear, or the similar episode in The Bear,
where
Jamie Lee Curtis. It's about that cooking show, or it's not a cooking show, but like he's a chef.
Yeah,
like his brother-in-law kills himself, right? And the family's trying to deal with this. But in this particular episode that I'm talking about, Jamie Lee Curtis is in this episode. It's great. And they're all sitting down to it's like Christmas, or I think it's Christmas. It's like a Christmas dinner. They're all sitting down and you can just feel that this palpable tension that's happening in this family. And every line and every word that the characters are saying means something. It's made to tell you what they're feeling, what they're thinking without really saying it. You can determine what the relationships are between these characters. The thing that would ruin it is if one of those characters just decided to say, and that happened. And that's exactly what these jokes are from the grandma in this movie. This movie is trying to make this tone. It's trying to ground it.
Yeah, but you're somewhere. Once again trying to make a dog a cat.
You're trying. I know I'm fucking not. I'm just making a comparison.
You're talking about an Emmy. You're talking about an Emmy award-winning script that is like one of the most like well done TV shows. Period. Like The Bears won so many fucking awards, right? And you're comparing that to what is meant to be a dumb, like Evil Dead is meant to be goofy and yet mercilessly mean. Like that's what you go see Evil Dead for. You're not supposed to go see Evil Dead to have your heart touched, dude. That's not what they're trying to do. And because it didn't work for you, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with it that it didn't work for you, but you can't say that this is this thing when half of the population at least totally disagrees with you. So it is written for some people because some of us thought it was fucking fantastic, dude. It's one thing if I was saying I had a good time. Like if you were talking about the Lee Corona's The Mummy right now, then I'd be like, yeah, pretty much everything you're saying is fair. I still think it was a fun movie. That's different. This is one where I genuinely think like top 5 horror movie of the year. Like I think this movie's fantastic. And so it's like it just was playing at a beat that is different than the beat you like. And that's fine. Like I'm not saying there's anything wrong with you for not liking it. But it's not that it's poorly done. It's just not done for what your taste and shit is.
All right, I'm going to finish since you did not make an argument at all in that response. So I'm going to finish what I'm trying to say. Since this movie puts out, this is the tone of the film. We're grounding it here in this family that is going through this. This is exactly what this movie's trying to put forward. And then they throw in these dumb fuck jokes only by the grandma. Nobody else is making a joke. Nobody else has their tongue in their cheek. Nobody else is winking at the audience. And we're not setting up things that are kind of funny, that are kind of silly, that are also brutal and mean and all this stuff. We don't have like
yes, there is.
We don't have like a straight character and then
hold on. Yes, there is. There's tons of humor besides. There's tons of other humor.
Really? From who?
All the Deadites.
The Deadites are the family. And no, they're not.
And the dad is hilarious,
dude. There's
dude.
nothing.
Yes, that's the humor that's in it.
Funny? What did he do that's funny? Tell me.
Dude, when he rubs the guy's face in the, that's so funny, dude.
It's gross, but where's the joke? Wait,
there's lots of gross the humor in this.
Where do you set it up?
Is in this mean kind of sense of humor. That's the humor that's in this. It's that bleak kind of humor. It's called gallows humor. That's the humor that's in this movie. And that's why I said it's very French, because the French, this is the kind of humor they have. It's a very dry sense of humor. And I know this for a fact. It's very different than American sense of humor. And
the French are winning a lot of awards for best comedies.
Dude, that's not true. Dude, the French win awards
I know it's
for
not
movies
true
all the time.
Because if that's French comedy, then that fucking sucks.
Dude, some of the best horror movies ever made are French, dude.
Doesn't matter. Okay, that's not an argument for French comedy, right? That's not an argument for how the jokes are supposed to land.
Some humor in it.
Okay, it is humor comedy.
Isn't the bear a comedy?
A comedic element.
Like the bear is literally, you're comparing a comedy, straight up comedy TV show, a comedy drama TV show, to a horror movie that has a little humor in it.
I'm not.
There's a big difference.
I'm comparing similar scenes, dude. I'm saying there's a scene in this show that's
when the whole entire thing is a totally different tone.
Let me finish. I'm comparing a scene in a show that is very similar, and the show is not a comedy show. Like there's moments of levity, and there's there are funny elements which follow a setup and payoff and punchline like properly. So that makes them funny, and it comes from characters that are endearing characters that aren't all just pieces of shit like all these characters in Evil Dead Burn. And you have a scene that's similar of a tense dinner. Okay, same thing in Evil Dead Burn. We have a tense dinner. They are dealing with death. They are dealing with in the bear, they're not necessarily dealing with that yet, but it's a tense scene. These people have a lot of baggage and a lot of what am I trying to say? Like when you like you're pushing shit down.
They're holding back their sorrow.
Like a lot of I forget why the fuck can I do that? It's like this pent up like issues, right?
Yeah.
And then everything is supposed to come to a head. And where you're supposed to have this,
whether there's a lot they're holding back and not saying, and then eventually it does start to come out.
Right. So the difference is the way that the scene in the bear is written and the way that the scene in the Evil Dead Burn is written is that there's subtext to the bear, and people are saying things without saying them. Whereas in Evil Dead Burn, everybody directly says exactly what they're feeling and what they're thinking to the character that they're feeling and thinking it about. And it's being delivered to us like, look, isn't this grounded and tense? And then all of a sudden, and then you're supposed to go, well, I mean, sure, but there's better ways to do this. And then all of a sudden, just in the middle of that, you have grandma with a stupid joke. It's
Yeah, but
total whiplash. It's not French
no.
comedy.
But
It's
there is
bad.
it's
bad
the scene,
writing,
dude. In the mortuary scene with the coffin, the humor is gallows humor, dude. It is funny, but it breaks the tone of the situation.
What's the humor in that scene? The fact that he's dancing to music? That's the humor.
No, he like trips when he's trying to, and he like almost loses the body.
Okay, yeah, sure, fine. Yes,
and then that same guy, when he's dancing in the back, gets caught, and then like has to, the whole uncomfortable, he has to like leave. That's a funny scene. Like there's plenty of humor, dude, throughout the whole movie. Or like when the dad is like by the car, like there's, he's hamming it up. Like there's the whole thing. It's just it's not like the same as The Bear. And that's also just not fair, because I'm not saying that this movie is the best written when it comes to humor or even script for that matter. But that's not what this movie is built on. It's like you have a Ferrari, but the body is beat up. That's fine, but it still has a fucking Ferrari engine.
Okay, well, what's the engine of a film? What would you say the engine of a film is? What drives the film?
That's the thing. Every movie is like different. And this movie,
really,
what drives this movie is it's about the gore. It's about the meanness of the Deadites, the way the Deadites look.
Great.
It's about the look of the movie. Like that's what Evil Dead movies
Great.
are.
Then why are you wasting my time with these stupid fucking dinner scenes? Why are you wasting my time with all of these characters that are trying to relate to each other or we're trying to give us our feelings? Why are we wasting time there? Why aren't we just having a gore fest like Terrifier?
Well,
if that's the driver, if that's what you're saying, because it's not.
Fine. I'm just saying, I'm not saying it's a, I'm
we're
just
trying.
Saying,
I
am saying it was fine. I'm just saying it's not like maybe Academy Award winning or fucking Emmy Award winning.
Sure, but it doesn't have to be.
Dude,
Evil Dead.
You're comparing
Evil Dead
it to The
2.
Bear.
Evil Dead. I'm comparing two scenes.
Dude,
do you want me to
back and watch?
Okay.
Go back and watch the Evil Dead, the first one, dude.
You go back and watch it.
Is atrocious.
You go back and watch it, because Evil Dead 1 and 2,
the writing
3,
is
they have their own spirit to them. They have their own. Yes, I know.
And this one does too.
It doesn't. It doesn't know what it is. It has no fucking idea what it is. It doesn't know.
Totally disagree. I totally disagree. This has a very different vibe to it, but I thought it was fucking cool. I loved it, man.
No.
But it does have a very different tone. It doesn't feel like the other Evil Deads. And like, I get that. I understand if Evil Dead fans are like, this doesn't feel like an Evil Dead movie to me. Like, that's fine. I get that. It definitely is doing something different.
You could have told this same exact story.
Great.
You could have told this same exact story way better. That's what I'm trying to say.
No, because
you could have had this same movie.
The writing part that I thought was really good.
Exact story. You could have had the same exact story done infinitely better, with more tongue in cheek, more setup and payoff, more of that, and kept the effects and the gore and all that. So you could have done that. This writer and director, whatever his fucking name is, didn't do that. He thought that he was making something that was serious and grounded, that had some kind of.
Some of it does, dude. Some of the writing, some of the writing elements and stuff is very like interesting and grounded and stuff. Like the whole idea of someone dying who is a piece of shit, and the turmoil of what that feels like when. And I've had this happen where people, friends, family, whatever, where you're like, they're dead, and it should be sad. I had a grandpa that was like this, and it's like so hard to get your brain and emotions around, because you're like, on one hand, the things they did, and like they were a fucking monster, and yet they're dead, and you're supposed to be like mourning the death of this person, and people are saying all these great things about them, and on the inside, you're like, dude, they were a fucking monster. Like, and this deals with that. That's something that's not dealt with very often in horror movies. And I thought that was really interesting.
How did it deal with that, though? Like, how did it actually deal with it?
That was the whole turmoil she's going through the entire movie.
No, it's not. She's just dealing with his piece of shit family.
No, because her mom,
and she could easily just leave. She could just leave. She didn't even have to be there. That's the point that I'm talking about.
Her husband died, so that's what I mean by her feeling this like torn in between, because like she's trying to.
She didn't even love him. He was so abusive and
No, but
so
she loves
awful.
his family. Like she's really
Why
close.
does she love his family?
She's really close
his
to the
family
brother
his
and
family has
to
shown
the
nothing.
brother's girlfriend.
Okay.
Like the mom doesn't like her, but like this is a family she's known forever, dude. Like she's known these people for like a long, long time, and she's very close with the brother, and that's why she's there. She even says that's why she's there.
I want to know why. Like, okay, fine.
She
Fine.
tells the brother,
Even
she's
if-
like, "I'm here for you."
Even if I grant that,
But the whole kiss thing that you were going on about, like she's really, really close with his girlfriend. So like, if the fact that the girlfriend
no, the girlfriend didn't seem to like that. No, she didn't seem to like that.
No, dude, they
She
were like
even
really
comments on
close,
it.
dude. The whole movie, they were really close. Well, up till what happens, they were super close. So like, there wasn't any bad blood there. It was a joke, and then it was uncomfortable because she knows how abusive that dude is. Like he's a controlling freak because she's not meaning to make out with his brother. She was greeting his brother, and like he makes some big fucking deal out of it. And so of course she's gonna say a smart ass comment back at him because he was calling her a slut. And she's like, yeah, you know us French people, we greet you with a hand job. Like you totally misconstrued the sarcasm there, dude. Because he's being a dick. He's acting like a brief little kiss on his brother is her like trying to fuck his brother, like right in front of him. Come on. But like the whole thing, he's this passive aggressive piece of shit. And then like beats the fuck out of her when he's not in front of people.
So why choose somebody like that in the first place? Like what decision making skills do you have as a character? Like
Well,
if you're gonna
because okay,
he just suddenly
that's
turned
a
into this.
whole different. Yes, it's a gradual thing.
I would love to have seen that.
Firsthand,
I would love to have seen that. The only thing that I saw was
people very, very close to me.
The only thing that I saw was okay, fine, man. You can
because
apply
she's thinking back
right?
on that. Remember, she has memories at times of the good with him.
Where? I saw no memories. I saw none of that.
No, when she's remembering, dude, when she's remembering the wedding and all of that stuff. And then all of a sudden it starts to go dark and it gets worse and worse and worse. Like in the beginning, all those memories, remember with her, these romantic like montage stuff that are thrown in when she's remembering him.
No,
like there was
the only thing is a longing gaze at a picture. There are no memories of anything before the wedding.
Yes,
or during the wedding.
No,
there's
it's not true. No, because there's the whole part when she first meets him.
There's a story about how she first met him.
I'm saying they show it in multiple ways, but there were good times with this guy. It's something that went on for years. And then like as he got worse and worse and worse. And that's how it happens. I know this firsthand because I'm not going to say who, but like I have people very, very close to me that have been in that exact situation where you know, especially when you're like young, like this has actually happened to me. I'm not going to say who it was I was with, but I was with this person, this woman, because everybody thinks I'm gay. I'm not, but I was with one of my exes and we got together very young. And as time went by, her anger got worse and worse and she got more and more abusive. I'm a big, strong guy, so it was never really a problem for me because I'm like, you could punch me and it's like, whatever, dude, you know, but it became more and more toxic, you know, and over the years, as you get older, like when you're with someone a long time, it magnifies everything. You know, everything becomes more exaggerated. It's just like the little things that bug you in the beginning, 10 years down the road, those little things become big things. And so that's how it happens. And she was in this stuck relationship that she was wanting to get out and she was on the verge of getting out of. Like that's the whole thing there. That's the whole turmoil there. And maybe that hit harder for me because, you know, I have personally and know people that have been in this exact situation where things very similar to this, you know, and I thought they did a good job of that. But I'm also not saying that this is like an Academy Award written dialogue or writing of a movie, but I think the core story was plenty good enough for what it needed to be for an Evil Dead movie. Like that's the tricky thing with a movie like this, where that's not your main focus. Like that's not the goal of this movie. Like that's maybe 2 or 3 down on the list of importance on what this needs to accomplish to be a good Evil Dead movie. You know, like to be a good Evil Dead movie, the most important thing is the kills, right? That's number one, like the gore and the kills. The number two would be like the deadites and special effects and things like that. My only issue with this movie, so people don't think I'm just glazing this movie, because I did have a few little things, but the one issue I have is the big issue I had with Rise as well. And that's the final boss, so to speak, at the end. Too much fucking CGI. And then yet it wasn't completely CGI. That's what's funny. I have all these people being like, dude, that ending was all bullshit CGI. I'm like, dude,
yeah. With him,
it was a guy in a suit. It's actually a guy in a suit, but yes, there's CGI on it. But they did have an actual guy, and he is in like a fucking thing.
Right. So you're basically trying to write the movie for it by applying this like personal thing that happened to you and saying that, oh, this is the exact thing that happened in the movie, when there's no actual visual evidence
but
to
it
show
does
in
do
that.
all that.
It's
it
not.
Does.
Where? I
Again,
literally saw this movie.
I'm not
what,
the only
2-3
person
days
that
ago?
feel this. I've seen it twice. There's plenty of this. There's plenty of her explaining the situation in parts throughout the movie of what this guy was like, between flashbacks, between her conversations. Like, they don't hold your hand, but there's plenty of it to know that things weren't always bad. They were good in the beginning, and they got worse and worse as time went by.
Okay. Everything that I heard her say was ways that he was bad. I never heard any way that he was good, started out good, everything was fine, and then something pushed him over the edge. He just turned into this just horrible, awful person. And we get nothing.
As time goes by,
and you're just writing the movie for it by going,
No,
oh yeah, I've
that's
been in a
what it
relationship
was
like
saying.
that. This is how it happens.
Dude, I'm not alone. Plenty of people
Okay,
came
fine.
away
They're all probably
thinking
also
the
doing
same
the same
thing about the movie. Like,
Yeah.
it tells you that.
A lot of
Like,
people have done that. A lot of people
like,
do that
so
for a
you-
lot of movies.
So
They
what
write
did
the
you
script for
think
the movie.
happened to her?
Huh?
What did you think happened to her?
I don't know. The only thing I think happened is that he was always a piece of shit, met her, was a piece of shit. She married him. He was still a piece of shit. And then we're supposed to feel bad about it. We're supposed to feel bad for
He
her.
very well could have been a piece of shit all along, but he hid it for at least a while until they were
That's writing the
married and all
movie
that.
for it. That's writing the movie for it. You
No,
are
'cause
inserting.
They show that they had good times in the beginning of the relationship. They show the flashbacks of like romantic looking scenes with the two of them and stuff like that. And then it starts to show, because it shows the first time where he gets gets abusive. Remember that one scene? That's like the first time where it starts to become controlling and abusive. And then it shows again, and it's worse and worse and worse.
Yeah. Look, man, you can
I'm not
disagree with
writing
me
the
all you
story
want.
for
I
it.
just
It's in
haven't
there.
heard.
I mean,
I just haven't heard any arguments for why this movie does a good job setting up characters and why this movie does a good job in the humor. All I just hear is excuses. Well, it's French humor. Well, the Evil Dead isn't really like this.
I'm just trying to explain why it worked for me. Like, coming up with reasoning, because I honestly don't understand.
But I haven't given a personal opinion in any of my arguments, is what I'm trying to say. Like, I'm coming in from a
this
qualitative.
Isn't personal opinion. This is me telling you reasoning, maybe
You said
why
for me.
it lands for some.
You said for me.
Well, yeah, because the truth is, every fucking thing you said is still an opinion. There is no such thing as a fact when it comes to art and an opinion on
Sure, but
art.
there's better and worse ways. Sure, but there's better and worse ways to do things, right?
No, that's still an opinion.
Really?
That's still an opinion.
Okay, so there's
it's perception, bro. It's perception.
So is it a better or worse way, right? You're an artist. Is there a better or worse way to draw a circle? So if you're just drawing squares,
no, because it depends on your attention.
Okay, right. Okay, so if you're drawing a circle,
okay, because check
you
this out.
draw it with right angle,
Listen. You asked
is that
as an
a
artist,
better or a
you
worse
asked me,
way to? This is what I'm trying.
You
Like,
asked me as an
all
artist.
the way to the nitty gritty, right?
Listen.
Is there?
You as an artist, this is
You're
how
just
it works.
fighting with me to fight with me at this point.
No, you said as an artist, is there a better or worse way of drawing a circle? The answer is not exactly, because it depends on what you are as an artist and what you're trying to accomplish as an artist. If you're an abstract artist and you draw a perfect circle, that is not the best circle for your style of art. But if you're an abstract artist and you draw a complicated, squiggly, like Basquiat, right, where his whole intention was to draw like a child because he wanted a rudimentary style, right? If he drew a perfect circle, it wouldn't have matched anything else that he did. But instead, he drew a stylized circle that fit the style, the look, the energy, the vibe, and what he was trying to accomplish. That's what it is to be an artist. That's what a circle is. And that's what I'm always trying to explain to you.
All right. Are there any qualities to art at all?
There's levels, yeah.
Are there any
That
qualities
take practice.
to art?
This
Are
is-
there any
This
qualities?
is not
All right.
the
AI
greatest
art is
Evil
art.
Dead movie.
AI art is art.
That's not even by a human, so that isn't
AI,
in the
it doesn't
same-
matter. It's art. Any AI, I can just type into
No.
into a prompt.
No, it's not
AI
art.
spits out an image.
That's not art.
And it not
No,
even
it's
not
not
only is
art.
it art, but it's
No,
good
it's-
art.
But it's not
Because
art.
no, it's good art for me.
No, it's
because my
not.
intention is I want all of this stuff that.
But that's not how
ChatGPT
art
shits
works.
Out. That's what I
Chat-
want. Why
That's not because
Why
it's
not? That's how I
you
do
don't
it.
say a printer is
Basquiat does
art.
this.
So do you call a printer an artist?
Okay, now we're getting
Is
somewhere.
a printer an artist?
All right, very good. Now we're getting somewhere. So, my question is not about what your fucking intention is. My question is, are there better or worse ways to draw a circle? It doesn't matter why you're drawing the circle. It's just if you're trying to draw a circle in whatever style that you happen to adopt, if you're trying to draw a circle, are there better or worse ways to draw that circle? Yes or no question.
DJ, I didn't say that this is the best horror movie ever. I didn't
Okay,
say
I'm
this is
not-
even the best Evil Dead movie. So of course there's better ways to make a movie.
Okay,
I just
very
think
good.
It's still a very good horror
Kanan.
movie.
We're getting somewhere now. I'm so happy. I'm so excited. So because
A
there
movie doesn't
are-
have to always be perfect to be fucking entertaining.
and I am not saying that
good.
it needs to be. I'm not saying that it needs to be. I'm not saying it does. I'm
It's like
what
if you were to put
saying-
this up against Obsession, of course Obsession is a better movie.
What I'm saying is that you could have told this same story. You could have made this same movie and still made it better. And the fact
But I
that
think a lot, here's the problem with what you're saying, and for me, is I think that some of what you're saying is true, but there's also a big part of it. Listen, but there's also a big part of it that is a taste, like preference thing. And that's the part that I have a problem with, because you don't see that. Like just because it doesn't do it in a certain way that you like does not mean it's a better or worse way.
Where in my entire argument, my whole review on my whole reasons why I think this movie is a bad movie, where in any of that did I say, and you can't like it? Where did I say that?
No,
Okay.
that's not the conversation we're having.
But
That's not the conversation we're having.
Then
We're
say
talking
what you
about
just said again. Say
good
what
or
you just
bad,
said
and I'm
again.
talking about it's a preference thing, because like the comedy, right? I and numerous other people I know think it's super fucking funny, and we got the gallows humor. We got the kind of humor that it was going for, right? You didn't. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with you for not getting it. But like, for instance, Jim Carrey is incredibly funny back in the day, but there was a lot of people that did not vibe with Jim Carrey. Most of us did, but there's a lot of people that didn't. A lot of people that were like so annoyed by him. Well, the rest of us loved him. There's nothing wrong with the people that didn't like him. It's just a preference thing. And you cannot say that Jim Carrey is not a good comedian. He's just not your cup of tea. And that's what I'm saying the humor is in this movie. And that goes for the dialogue too, and like the storytelling. It's like some of it, yes, some of it could have been like in a perfect world by the greatest filmmaker ever, writer, whatever, could have been improved upon, right? I'm not saying that this is a A+++ movie. I'm saying it's a B+ to an A. Like it's a damn good movie. It's a very fun Evil Dead movie.
Why? You've never told me why. All you've said was because you liked it. You haven't given me any reason why you think it's a good movie. It's just
I think
because I liked it.
Okay, I think the suspense. Well, I mean, I've already reviewed the movie, but I think the suspense is very good, very thick throughout the movie. They do a great job with that. The way they build the Deadites, the way you're constantly not sure who's in peril or not, because this is the meanest fucking Evil Dead movie that's been made. Everybody is in danger. I also like that you don't really like anybody. I do care for the main girl as far as I felt for her because the situation she's in from the beginning. But you also just feel like she's surrounded by a bunch of pieces of shit. And the people that she thought she could trust or like are pieces of shit. And so like I feel like that vulnerable feeling I really liked. I thought it came across really, really well. And then I love the ethereal feel of this movie. It's the most ethereal of the Evil Dead movies where it feels very dreamlike, especially the second half. Like I love how he uses bright oranges and reds and like the sky is dark blues and all these like colors and the way he uses fire. So fucking genius, dude. Like he talked about the reason he wanted like reasons called burn and the reason he used fire is because he said what he loves about the Evil Dead movies is that each one uses like a different environmental type of thing as part of the villain. You know what I mean? Like that's you'll always think about the Deadites, but you don't think about the actual environment itself being like the villain somewhat too. You know what I mean? Like part of what's against you. And so he was like his element. He wanted to use fire because they hadn't used fire before. And I think the way he used fire is fucking awesome, especially with that ending thing. Like, dude, that was so cool. Like the way they zoomed in on the hand. Like, yeah, I'm trying not to spoil all that, but I thought that was fucking great. Like, there's so many things, dude, but a lot of what worked for me are visuals because to me, Evil Dead movies, what makes them great is the visual element. Like, that's always been the best part of Evil Dead is the visual element. You know, the way the prosthetics, the costume design, the makeup work, you know, the editing, like even Sam Raimi inventing the tracking shot, you know, like that's famous where it zooms through the woods and shit. Like that stuff, that's what makes an Evil Dead movie.
Yeah, and in the opening of my review, I said exactly the same thing you just said.
Yeah, but I don't.
That's my praise. That's my praise for it. But that's it. Everything else is terrible.
But I don't need like.
Right. So it's your preference is why you enjoyed it. That's it. It's not the fact that it's a quality movie. It's because your preferences.
It's a movie.
You enjoyed it.
We argue about this all the time, dude. It's not a fucking book.
It doesn't.
The visual
I know we argue, but
is what makes it a movie.
Stupid argument. I don't know why I don't know why you bring it up like it means anything.
Because
it doesn't have to be a book.
Dude, you can't.
There are so many movies
if you're blind, it's just a book.
Okay.
You go to see a movie because of the
movies
visuals.
are visual storytelling. Yes, I understand. And the things
and there's a ton of the story. There's a ton of the story that is visual in this. That's what I'm saying. Like an Evil Dead movie, a huge part of the storytelling is the visuals. Most of the storytelling is the visuals, not the writing.
If the storytelling is the visuals, there is no story in this movie.
I don't understand that at all, dude.
Okay, I'll go into it. I'll go into it, right? So if the visuals are what's telling the story, if that we just remove the audio track and we just watch the movie from what we're seeing, all we see are people fighting and then killing each other. That's all we're seeing. There's no story there. It's just people fight, they seem to argue, and then they start dying. And then they come back and start killing each other. That's what we see.
Okay, so then tell me how that's different than the first Evil Dead or the second Evil Dead.
Okay.
As far as the storytelling.
Yeah. So as far as the storytelling goes, there's not that much of a story in Evil Dead. And it doesn't try to present itself as a movie that tells a story. We
Yeah,
have
so
these
why
kids
are you
that go through.
judging this
This movie
on
does.
that?
It tries to present itself as something deeper, as something more meaningful. We have scenes, specifically the dinner scene, where we're sitting down and we are supposed
Yeah, because I
to
felt like
get
this one
characterization out of this. These scenes in this movie serve no purpose other than to show characteristics. The same thing for the reason why the funeral scene is so long. We're supposed to see what these people are thinking and going through, and it is not executed well. That's what I'm trying to say. It's executed poorly. It's even bad. That's
no,
what
I
I'm
think
trying to
I
say.
don't agree.
So
I
this
think it's
movie does not
executed
go
through
into
the
you. Let me
visual.
finish.
Like there's not even much dialogue in the funeral
exactly
scene.
right, but you don't need dialogue. You need visual cues, right?
Yeah,
we
and I thought they were there.
We don't get that. The only thing we get is this giallo humor that you're saying we have with the fucking noise from the construction ruining the eulogy.
Yeah, exactly. That's humor there too.
That's not Kanan. That is not characterization.
No, but what is
so
what is visual cues is when they show her the look on her face that you could feel the shit that she's feeling, like she's numb. You could feel the family around her, like there's this strange, awkward feeling in the entire room. Like all that stuff is done through the visual cues. You know what I mean? I very much picked up on all of that.
Okay, well then you're smarter than I am.
No, we just are different people.
No, you can't have different preferences, and those preferences are what make you pick up on visual cues, or what make you notice subtext, or what make you understand.
No, it's a style thing.
Just preferences don't do that. Like,
it is. It's a style thing. It's like you like some bands, you don't like others. It's like I like Pantera. I fucking love Pantera, right? I've never been that big of a fan of Metallica, but I'm not going to say Metallica is not a great band. I just never been a big fan of theirs. Their style of metal has never been as interesting to me or as enjoyable as Pantera.
Okay,
that's what I'm saying.
I have similar opinions about bands.
They're very good.
Okay, I get it. I have similar opinions about bands.
It's not a matter of smarter or not. It's a matter of like a certain brand and style lands. Like I am really curious what you think of Infested, his first movie, because I thought Infested is awesome. It's like one of the best fucking spider like monster movies ever made. And so I'm curious because that movie was what Raimi saw and made him be like, I want this guy to make an Evil Dead movie. And so I'm really curious.
I don't think I've seen it. Well, I don't think I've seen it.
You haven't. We've talked.
If I have,
no, you haven't. We've talked about it a few times because the year it came out, we had just started this, and it was like one of my favorite movies of the year. So I'm curious what you think, because you might have a lot of the same problems in that as you do in this, or you might be like, that was actually a good movie. Like he didn't do the same thing, but I feel like the way he writes characters and all of that was very similar to Infested, and it works.
No, then if it's the same thing, then no, it's going to be bad because they're all two-dimensional.
But I don't know if it's
that have a singular motivation. They have a singular motivation, and nothing they do actually is inspired by that motivation or by that want or by that thing. These are not well-written characters. Like, I don't know, man. Like, you prefer these kinds of movies, and you're trying to tell me that because you prefer this, that means they are well-written characters.
No.
And it's like, no, we have guidelines.
But that's not it.
This is what makes a character a character.
I don't prefer it. I just enjoy it.
Okay, but that's what I'm trying to say.
Like a movie like When Evil Lurks, which is a better fucking movie. It's better characters, better character development. Everything writing-wise is better. Like, it's a better fucking movie. But When Evil Lurks is like, top tier, like S tier. This is an A tier. I can still enjoy A tier. I don't need it to be an S tier.
Dude, I don't understand. I don't understand how we're so diametrically opposed on this. How you're saying this is an A tier film. What are other A tier films for you? And you're putting Evil Dead Burn on A tier? This is fucking F for me.
I would say, yeah. See, that's what I don't understand. That's where
this is Lisa Frankenstein. This is Monkey.
Lisa Frankenstein was great. The Monkey was great.
No, they're not. They're not good movies, dude.
No, they just don't land for you.
Preferences don't matter. You can just say, I prefer this.
When you're talking about art, it is all about, when you're talking about art, it's all about perception. There is no such thing as good or bad or better art.
Okay,
It's
no, and I
perception.
disagree. All right, well, I disagree because then
There's just not.
Then The Room is just as good as Lord of the Rings.
But
If
here's the thing.
everything's
What
if
makes
everything
good
is
art?
if everything is subjective and everything is fucking relative, then The Room is just as good as Lord of the Rings, and nobody can tell me any difference. Nobody can make any argument at all that The Room is any worse of a movie writing, shooting,
Here's the
quality,
thing. Hold on.
sound
Hold on.
design, music. You can't tell me that because everything
No, because
comes
here's
down
the
to
thing.
preference. Everything comes down to
No, stop.
I
stop.
just understood The Room better. I knew what he was trying to do when he put this
No,
sound
but
here.
he
When he
wasn't.
tried
That's
to
the
shoot it on
problem.
film and digital at the same time.
But
The
that's the
Room
problem.
is
With The
just as
Room-
good as Lord of the
Stop.
Rings. In fact,
Stop.
because I prefer that style of filmmaking better, The Room is better than Lord of the Rings. It's a better film because
But that's
my
not
preference is
what
in the
you.
fact that I
It's not
understand what he was
about.
doing
No.
is
It's
better.
not about.
That's your whole argument. That's
No,
your
it's not
whole
about
argument.
preference. It's perception.
Yeah, I perceive The Room to be a better movie than The Lord of the Rings, so therefore it is.
But that's not
because
why.
I perceive it that way.
That's not what makes it good or bad.
I
What
know.
makes The
That's what I'm
Room-
trying to say.
No,
That's not what you're
makes The
saying.
Room-
I'm giving you
Listen.
your argument back at you, and you're
No.
arguing against it.
No, because what makes The Room a bad movie is not because it's a badly made movie. It's that the artist did not fucking make the movie he was trying to make.
You don't know that. He's
Yes,
very
I
proud of
do.
it. He's
No,
the only
you-
one. Yes,
no.
he's super proud of it.
No, he's not. It's become his meal ticket, dude. You can read all the interviews and hear all the bullshit that he says about the movie. It's not there. That's not the movie that if he had the ability to make, he would be making.
Why? He had infinite amounts he had unlimited amount of money. Why didn't he shot it on digital and film at the same time? Anything he wanted, he could have done. Why didn't he do it?
Because he doesn't have
And
the
it doesn't
ability.
matter. Who gives a shit? My perspective, my preference, what I like The Room. I perceive The Room to be a better movie than Peter
Yeah.
Jackson's Lord of the Rings.
I am
Therefore,
sure there are-
it is. And
but that's
nobody
a
can
different
argue
thing.
against me. Nobody
But
can
that's a
argue
different
against
thing.
me.
That's a different
Why-
thing.
why do we
You're talking
discuss
about
movies?
preference. I'm
I
not
just
talking about
prefer The
preference.
Room. Why are we discussing movies? The Room is better than Lord of the Rings. Why? Because I prefer it. That's
To
your
you,
whole argument.
That's fine. If that would
Evil
be your
Dead Burns
preference,
is A tier because I prefer it. That's
that's
your
not
whole
what
argument.
I'm talking about.
But that
Preference
listening, okay,
is
then
no.
tell me,
That-
then
you're
show
talking
me.
preference.
the-
Preference is not what I'm talking about.
You have not been telling me this entire time that because I didn't understand the humor and you did, that therefore it's good. That I didn't understand how these characters are acting the way they are, but you
I didn't say
did,
that.
Therefore,
I never
it's
once
good.
said you didn't understand it. I said it didn't land for you. That's the part you never get. It's never me telling you don't understand it.
Okay, but how many conversations have we had where I've said that this movie?
It's like I said, the Pantera versus Metallica thing.
Yeah, but we just talked about subspecies, and I said, look, I don't think that these movies are good. However, this is what is good about them. This is what I think I like about them. This is what lands for me. But I can still, that doesn't, but I'm not coming around and saying, therefore, they're good movies because the atmosphere lands. The guy who plays Rattle lands is really good. The costume design and the makeup is really good. That and it lands for me.
Yeah,
like,
and
I'm not, but I still said they're not good movies.
But
so
I said two different things.
I don't think
I
that
said
there's
two
this
different things about
disconnect
Evil
here.
Dead Burn. I said two different things about Evil Dead Burn. One is my preference, that I enjoyed it. I had a good time with it, and therefore I think it's a good movie as far as my personal enjoyment of it, right? But then I also said I think there's more things in it that are of a really quality tier that make it an A, B plus A, because the things that are important in it are at that level. I didn't say every single element of it is an A tier, you know what I mean? But it doesn't need to be, because for the kind of movie that it's being made, like if this movie was trying to be Obsession, right? If that's what they were going for, then it would have been a failure, because the things that needed to be right in that story and for that kind of movie weren't in this, right? But this is not what this is trying to be. This is trying to be an Evil Dead movie, which is like the focus of this movie is about the visuals, the gore, the violence, the mean-spirited quality, that kind of thing is what makes an Evil Dead movie. The way evil is represented on screen and stuff, that's what an Evil Dead movie is about. And because that's what it's trying to do, like that's the language that it's speaking. If it is getting all those right, and a little bit of this is not quite as good, but it doesn't matter because it's like way lower on what it needed to do, then it's here. It's like Obsession. I never said Obsession was a perfect movie, but the stuff that wasn't perfect about it didn't matter because what it was trying to accomplish, what was important in the movie, was all A++ shit.
Yeah, but Obsession. Okay, but what I'm
because a movie is a mixture of all these different things that come together to make one piece, right?
Okay,
and
I
so,
know.
like, yes, if you take out just the dialogue, just the script and storytelling, it would be like, if that's all we were talking about here, I would be like, a C, maybe C+. You know what I mean? But that's that's not what an Evil Dead movie is about, and all that other shit is an A. That pulls it up to a B+. You know what I mean?
I know,
that's how I look at it.
But I've already responded to this. I've already said, and like, and if you want to make the Obsession comparison, fine. Obsession Curry Barker didn't make Obsession with the story that he wrote, the characters that he put in, and then just randomly put in like something that you would see from Evil Dead. Right? He didn't do that. Evil Dead, Burn, set out to do what you're saying it did, which I agree did well. The kills, the gore, all of that stuff, the cinematography, great. And then, but it also tried to do Obsession level things and ground these characters.
But
and
DJ,
and they failed.
But
horribly.
Listen, hold on. Those things were the exact same way, like the
Feuerfrau, just leave. Hang on, Feuerfrau, just fucking leave. I already saw your message. You're gonna unsubscribe. You don't like me because Kanan and I get into these passionate arguments. I'm not fucking mad. I don't need a mom. I'm not unhappy. If you're gonna unsubscribe and you're gonna leave. Just go. This isn't a fucking airport. You don't need to announce your departure. Just fucking go. Like, Jesus,
this is what we do. We always argue.
You've been watching this show for how long? Like, how Kanan and I do this. I'm not a mean person. Like, if you don't like me, fucking go. Just, okay. Jesus, a bit close by. I know you're constantly trying to catch me on shit. You are constantly trying to catch me on like racist shit, sexist shit, even though you said that you think Obsession is a movie that every young male should watch because of some sexist fucking opinion that you have about how men work. Okay. So just fucking leave. I don't care. Okay. Goodbye. I am a racist. See, look at this. You are racist. Okay, I'm a fucking racist. Bye. Unsubscribe. Fucking leave. You've been watching this show for however long. This is the whole reason.
Stop.
Like, Jesus, like now I am fucking pissed. Just go.
I know. Stop.
Kanan and I
she doesn't know
I'm not
you.
angry. I'm an impassioned person. That's fine. Kanan
the reason me and
DJ
do this is because we see the world differently, but we both agree that it's important to still be able to have discussions and heated discussions and arguments. It's important in this world that we still have these, and at the end of the day, shake hands and walk away. You don't have to agree with another human to respect that other human and be friends with that other human.
I'm not fucking dealing with this. Bye, Feuerfrau. Jesus Christ. No, that shit pisses me. Look, guys.
I know. If she doesn't want to understand and listen, that's fine. But I'm not gonna stop doing this podcast just because me and you disagree on some fucking movies.
Yeah, which I look, I will admit, I get loud and impassioned.
So do I
about things. Like, I can do that. I'm fine.
I yell right with you.
I am not angry. Like, I am not upset. This isn't gonna ruin my night because
at the end of the day, we're both like, this is just a fucking movie.
All of you guys know this. I don't know why Feuerfrau fucking watches this show and doesn't understand.
We've been doing this for fucking 2 years, and we do this almost every single episode.
Yeah, it's why people watch this show.
Did she not watch the episode where we talked about the monkey?
Apparently not. Jesus Christ! Just
like she's a really sweet person, but like I don't know why she's tripping out on this. But it's probably better if she doesn't watch it.
Yeah, it's just looks like this podcast isn't for you, which fine. She's fucking out, so it doesn't matter. Like, Jesus Christ.
That sucks. That sucks. I would, because
Look, I don't like it. I don't like losing a subscriber. But if you're gonna
it's not that.
if you're
It's
gonna
not that.
flood my chat with saying that I need a mommy, that I need to calm down. Like, look, I can take insults. Okay, people in the chat insult me all the time,
But we're not even. We never insult each other.
I know, but I know we're not insulting each other
because we're just simply talking about like, you know, differences in opinion, and honestly, I need it. It helps me. You always bring up points that I hadn't thought of, and you may or may not want to agree with that I do the same for you, but like
you do. No.
It helps me to have a more well-rounded perspective on the world. You know what I mean? Like, that's why I think conversations like this are important, not just about art, but about everything. Like, if we cannot talk about shit just because we disagree, like, dude, how many humans on this planet all agree on everything? You know, it just doesn't exist. And it's honestly the reason we're in this mess as a country and as a world that we're in, because people don't fucking have discussions anymore. Everybody wants to just be right and have everybody agree with them. And you know what I mean? And it's like, that's just not the real world.
I agree. But even then, we're not even talking about real issues. We're talking about fucking movies. Like, it's not that serious. So don't act like it is. And like, you can neg me in the chat. You can make fun of me in the chat. I don't care. I know where it's coming from. Our chat, minus Feuerfrau now, our chat gets it. And I don't think anybody's being actually mean-spirited in negging.
And we're not the only, we're not the only podcast live stream.
Right. If you want to go watch people talk about movies and just kind of like are nice.
There's a lot of them that argue with each other, you know, like it's whatever.
Like, God, she called me a racist.
Yeah.
That word has, like, here's what sucks about this. It's like that word has no meaning anymore. You know what I mean?
Nope. It's just like the whole woke.
Meaning. It has no meaning at all.
It's the way woke became. Because if you could just throw these things around, you know what I mean, without actual, like, there's no validity to it then, you know, if you're just throwing it, you know, willy-nilly around, you know, because here's the thing. Someone could say something racist. Someone could even do something racist and not full-blown be a racist, because we're humans and everybody has made mistakes.
You ever played Call of Duty?
Because, like, I am not a racist at all, and yet I'm not going to lie and say that in my life I never said anything or did anything that was kind of racist, like when I was young or whatever, but you learn from those things. You grow and you understand and you mature and all those things. That's why just calling someone blatantly something, I don't know. That's just not, it's not cool. Especially when she doesn't know you. You know?
Flytrap was like, I checked out the entire Evil Dead Burn review. I don't want to hear nothing. Going to say, hey, look, man, good. Thanks for watching for the whole hour that we've been talking about this. But like, whether you put us on mute or not, but I mean, I'm done. I think we can end it there. I don't think we need to fight about it anymore. I just think it's hard for me to just accept that something's good because I don't want to say preference, because you keep pushing back on that, but because you have a perspective, because you have a different perspective, therefore the movie is now good or bad.
I think we're talking about two different things. Because, like,
I
always look at movies in two different ways. Like, I'll look at a movie in, like, my personal preference, and most of my videos, I talk about them through the lens of my preference, right? Because I'm recommending something. If I review a movie, which I don't do anymore, unfortunately, because YouTube doesn't show people those videos. But like, when I review a movie, that's different. I talk about the good, the bad, the ugly. You know what I mean? Like, I will talk about the whole ball of wax, and I'll point out elements. Like, if I were to do a full-on review of Evil Dead, I would talk about some of the faults, some of the flaws, some of the weaknesses, right? But at the end of the day, I'm still going to give the movie like a B+ rating because of what it's trying to accomplish. Those things that are important to it, you know, to me are so high that even if there's some flaws or things that were not A+, the movie itself still goes to that level. And that's where I'm coming from. Like, I'm not saying that some of the things you said aren't true, but I also think if it was trying to be that kind of movie. And what you were saying about it bringing like these tonal problems, right? Because you're like, if it was trying to be an Evil Dead movie and like all of this, but it tried to be like grounded and realistic and blah blah blah, right? But that's what Evil Dead 2013 did, and Evil Dead Rise did. Like, this is a new way that they're going with these Evil Dead movies, and they all did this. And it may or may not work for you in each one, but like each one tried to bring in some serious, like, remember in 2013, like, she's addicted to drugs, and they brought that whole storyline and all that in there. But at the end of the day, that movie's good not because of that shit. It's good because of the gore, you know what I mean? The look, like blah blah blah.
Yeah, look. Again,
but I do think that the story stuff was executed better in 2013. Like, I'll say that.
I would agree.
Like, I would rank them as, even though I really, really enjoyed this movie, and I really enjoyed Rise would be if I was ranking them, Rise would be my least favorite. Then it would be Burn. Then it would be 2013, Army of Darkness, Evil Dead 2.
So an A tier movie is the second to last on the list.
I said B plus.
Okay, B plus movie
between
is second
B
to
plus
last
and A
on the list. That's how strong
for
of a
Evil
series
Dead. Yeah,
Evil Dead series is for you.
Yeah, because I would give Rise like a C plus or a B, and like this one I would give like a B plus to an A.
Okay, all right.
Because if it was just
okay,
here's the thing: if this movie was only like if it was, you took out all the storytelling stuff, you took out some of the CGI that didn't land or whatever, you took away that, this movie is like practically perfect to me. Like, those other elements are practically perfect. Like the sound design, the visual effects, the lighting, the color grade, the editing, the shot, like the cinematography, the location, like all that stuff is like about as good as you get, like, for this type of movie. And so that's what to me brings it up so high. Does that make sense?
Yes, you've made your point very clear. I don't think I'm confused about it.
But see, I feel like you take everything and you flip it. You do the other way, where it's like the script and story has to be like of that A plus tier, no matter what anything else is, for the movie to be a high ranking for you. And like, that's
no,
to me, it's
I don't do that because you asked me about Evil Dead, and I said
but you said you would put this movie as an F.
I would. When you asked me about the first Evil Dead, I said the story's very basic. It's not, and it doesn't really do that much. However, what we get in the film.
Yeah, but what would you rank Evil Dead, the first or second Evil Dead? Which one do you think is best? The first.
I like Evil Dead 2 better.
Same. What would you give it? Like, if you gave it like on the rank, like S tier is your best, like where would it? Because you got to remember that I said B plus, S tier is Obsession. You know, When Evil Lurks, Hereditary, like that's S tier. And so to me, this is like 1.5 levels down. I think that's super fair for this movie.
Look, it's hard for me to rank Evil Dead, like where I would put it. I mean, I would put Evil Dead 2 as an A. And because Evil Dead 2,
you wouldn't put it S?
No.
No. Hold on. You said Evil Dead.
Dead 2.
Put Evil Dead 2 S or A?
No, I would put Evil Dead 2 as an A, Evil Dead as a B.
Yeah, see, I'd put Evil Dead 2 as S. And I'd put 2013 as an A.
The thing about I would also put 2013 as an A. Because the thing is, the Evil Dead 1 and 2.
But I'm also putting into like some of what I'm saying has to do with like the impact it has had. You know?
Right. So just in terms of a quality film.
Yeah. So I think if it was just that, I don't know if it would be an S. But because like what it's done.
The reason why, so Evil Dead 1 and 2, no, the script is not winning any awards. The script is not, it's very basic, and it's not even that, it's not that great. But the movie, both movies, and even the third one especially, but 1 and 2 specifically, have their tongue firmly planted in their cheek.
Yeah.
And it's very obvious that they're doing that. What Evil Dead Burn does not do, that Evil Dead, and what makes, let me finish my first point. I'm getting fucking sidetracked. What you get in Evil Dead and Evil Dead 2 are the kills, the practical effects, the creative camera movement, all of that stuff. Bruce Campbell is just awesome as the Ash character, and it's funny, it's creative, the chainsaw hand, I mean, like all of that stuff, like it's super creative. And so that lifts up that doesn't lift up the script, but that lifts up the movie for me. What Evil Dead Burn, even though I opened my review of Evil Dead Burn with the cinematography is great, the effects are great, the kills are gnarly, it's super gore, like all of that. The script is so bad that it is distracting from what's good about the movie. It drags the movie so far down that it's almost not worth watching it for the kills, because you're just wasting time with all of these supposed character development scenes where we could just be having more carnage, more actual funny jokes, more creativity, more tongue-in-cheek. We're not given that. And so that's why I will say, I think that's actually what is missing. Even in 2013, like to me, what makes hang on
the first Evil Dead and Evil Dead 2 better than these modern ones is Ash, because like none of these have that character that is so charismatic and entertaining and fun to watch. Like the movies are badass, but they don't have that. And so like to me, that's what always takes them just a little bit down, is not having that character.
Right. But what 2013, and you're going to jump on me when I say this, but the reason why I think 2013 was so good was because it took away the tongue-in-cheek and made Evil Dead very grounded and violent.
Yeah.
And I thought that was, and I thought and I still thought the script of Evil Dead 2013 is better than Evil Dead Burn. But I thought taking Evil Dead and kind of turning it on its head was creative and well done. Evil Dead Burn doesn't do that. Evil Dead Rise doesn't do that. They try to mimic these things, but neither movie gets the charm of Evil Dead 1, 2, and 3, or the gritty realism of 2013.
Yeah. Well, they're trying to be somewhere in the middle. That is the intention.
Sure.
Because that was the complaint with Evil Dead 2013. People kept coming around on that movie, but if you remember when it came out, dude, people shit all over that movie because they were like, it's too fucking mean. It's too it's depressing. It's not fun. It's not funny, whatever. And so they've tried to, with Rise and now with this one, bring it somewhere in the middle. But here's the thing. I do think that 2013 still had some humor, but I think it was like kind of like gallows dark humor. And I think this one was more closer to 2013 than it was Rise, which is also why I think it's better than Rise. Like Rise felt generic to me. It felt more generic. I still think it was entertaining. I liked it a lot, right? But like it didn't make my top 10 of the year. This might make my top 10 of the year. I need to rewatch it with a lot of the things you said in mind and really kind of pay attention, because like the script never was distracting to me and I actually vibed with it, but I want to watch it with a critical lens, like the actual script, and see because this is the thing that is important to me. I always want to understand it from other perspectives, everything. Like a lot of people are like, fuck you, you're just wrong. You know what I mean? Like whenever someone disagrees, they're like, fuck you, you're wrong. That's not how I see it. Cause to me, I'm like, there is no right or wrong with stuff like this. It's a matter of opinion. It's especially when it comes to art.
But I always the reason why I always push back on you with that is my whole Room versus Lord of the Rings comparison. What you didn't let me say is the intention is the thing there. I don't think Tommy Wiseau intentionally made a bad movie.
Exactly. And that's why it's a failure. If Tommy Wiseau, his intention as an artist was to make what The Room is, which is a movie that's so bad it's good. Like if he was trying to do that, he would be a master. He would be the greatest filmmaker at that style of film that has ever lived.
Sure, agreed.
But what's funny is, then it wouldn't have been what it is. Like the only reason it is what it is because he earnestly tried to make a good fucking movie. Right.
That's the irony of it.
Yeah. And so that's why it's not Lord of the Rings, because Lord of the Rings is exactly what he was trying to make. You know what I mean? It is
both movies
one of the greatest movies ever made, because that filmmaker made exactly what they visioned.
both filmmakers
Everything came together.
Wait. No, you're wrong. Both filmmakers made exactly the movie they wanted to make.
No, Tommy Wiseau didn't. That's what I was saying. No, Tommy Wiseau was trying to make a good movie.
Right.
And instead, Tommy Wiseau made a horrible movie. So that's not what he was trying to make.
Lord
of the Rings is meant to be exactly what it is. Everything came together. Like, there's a lot of reasons why The Room is a bad movie. And a lot of it is Tommy Wiseau tried to do everything himself. Tommy Wiseau is so arrogant that he believes that he is like this genius artist, right? And could do all this shit. Whereas the great artists know when to hire someone that's better at something than them. You know, the greatest directors also have the greatest fucking cinematographers, the greatest DPs, the greatest fucking sound design. You know what I mean? They know who to hire. That's why, like, Flanagan is amazing, and he always works with a lot of the same people. And a lot of the reason his shit's so good is because he works with a lot of the same people over and over.
Right. My argument and my cinematic philosophy is something that I'm still trying to develop. Is I believe that there are objective qualities to art. I don't know what they are. I believe I've discovered one quality of art is that it's persistence through time. Yeah. And there's a few things that have kind of blown up in my face about that, but you know, that's something that you can argue. But I do believe that there are standards. I do believe that there are better ways to do things, and I do believe that there are more objective qualities to storytelling, to art, especially art that takes place in a visual medium like film. And that's what distinguishes good movies from bad movies. Those
are what guided intention. Like, for instance, if your intention is to make a scary movie and you make a comedy, well, your movie is not good. You know, because you're trying to make a scary movie, not a comedy. So, like, that's not a matter of perception or whatever. That is a fact. Like, your intention is to make this, and you don't accomplish that. That that is
right, but what if
a very clear, delineation.
Right, but what if your intention is to make a horror movie and it's just not scary? It's a horror movie, but it's not scary. It's
then
not.
You failed.
Okay,
then you
right.
failed.
But is it bad or is it good?
It could still be a decent movie. There's a lot of good horror movies, right, that are not scary, even though they were trying to be scary.
I guess I didn't mean.
But the rest of it still came together and was good. But like, that's what I'm saying. Like, a movie can still be good and not be flawless. You know, like, it could still have some elements that didn't land and still be good.
Sure,
because a movie is like it's like a football team, right? You could have a shitty running back and still win games. You may not win the Super Bowl though. You know.
Well, yeah, okay. I'm just not sure that's
like quarterbacks. I mean, we've had forever. You've had teams that are fantastic, but they didn't, like the 49ers. They had loaded teams, but their quarterback was never of that A tier, and so they could never get the job done. But it didn't mean they weren't still good fucking teams and won a lot of games.
Yeah, I'm not sure that's an apt comparison though, because a movie's like a one-time, it's like a one-off thing.
But you're saying it doesn't have to be a masterpiece to still be a good movie.
Yeah, but I'm also not saying that.
Like, to me, Evil Dead Burn is a movie that I'm like, it's worth going to see in theaters, right? But it's not a movie that in 20 years from now I'm going to be like, that was one of the movies, that sticks out from 2026. You know what I mean?
Sure, fine.
And a lot of movies don't have to be.
Right, but
Obsession will be remembered and talked about 20 years from now. I don't know if Backrooms will, but yet I still think Backrooms is a damn good movie.
Good night, Demonessa.
Hokum.
We're gonna go as long as we want. Don't tell us what to do. I'm just kidding.
Well, I gotta go shortly anyway.
I know. We actually, Kanan has a heart out, so I have nobody to fight with once he leaves. So we're definitely not going for another 3 hours.
But like there are certain things. Like, I agree with you. There are certain things that are clear. Like, this makes this movie was good. Like you said, it's staying power. Like, if you're talking about a movie like The Shining, 40, 50 years after it was made, it's clearly a fucking like a good piece of art, like, a fantastic piece of work, right? And like movies like The Thing, were shit on. Like every critic, everybody was shitting on the thing. And yet it's talked about now as one of the greatest movies, period, especially in horror. So it's like sometimes a movie is ahead of its time. Sometimes not everybody gets it for whatever reason, but it doesn't change the fact that it was still a good piece of media, right?
Right. No, sure. But that's why when I argue about the quality of film, I am comparing it to all other films that have done either similar things or are have part of are in the same genre. Sorry, my cat's telling me it's time to eat. Going, okay, this movie did this similar thing better because it concentrated on this, or like because all movies have, okay, not all movies, most movies have characters. These characters behave in a certain way. And because they are made to represent people, and people behave a certain way, and storytelling and characters in stories behave a certain way when it's well written or when it's poorly written. And there's certain reasons for that. Not all, but most. And so that's why, and if I think that this could have been done better, look, if you watch The Hellgate, right? I wrote the movie, I directed it. It's not winning any awards. It's not, that it drags in the second act. The dialogue could be better. There's a lot that could be improved in The Hellgate. So this is even though I have these opinions and I have these thoughts and I have this, constant, I guess rubric that I'm using, doesn't mean that it's able to be universally applied. Right.
Yeah, because it's always easy to see it. It's another thing to do it. It's like I could see people lifting, bench pressing 500 pounds. That doesn't mean I can go over there and bench press 500 pounds. Right.
And you can know the precise technique.
So, and the way to get there.
And you can do all that, but it still doesn't mean you're going to be able to do it. But
and that's what I'm saying. Like, to me, you just and this is the thing I always push back on you. And this is the reason I argue with you, is because I always feel like you're too hard on stuff. And sometimes, like in the case of a movie like The Monkey, your preference gets in the way and you're not judging it based on like anything that is factual based, just simply your preference.
No, I watch my review of The Monkey,
because The Monkey was extremely funny, super funny to certain senses of humor. And because it didn't work for your sense of humor, it was bad. But that's the thing. That is a preference thing. Humor is impossible to, humor is one of those things that you cannot, say there's good and bad. You know what I mean? Because if it lands, then it's good. If it doesn't, it's bad. And if this sense of humor lands for these people, then it's not a bad sense of humor. It's just not your sense of humor.
Yes, I understand.
But if it's a movie that's not funny to anybody, well, then clearly it's not a funny movie.
But what if it's funny? Wait, but what if it's funny to one person? Then should we include it in the conversation of funniest or even funny movies? If one person thinks it's funny?
I mean, because that's how we...
where's the threshold there?
Because exactly, I agree with you to a certain extent on this, because that's how we rate everything. It's kind of like public opinion. And so, in that case, I am right about, if that's what we're going to base things on, well, then I am right about Evil Dead Burn, and you're wrong. Because if you look at just the public opinion...
That's why we're not doing that.
That's what I'm saying. So you can't just say if it's, so then it's not just because I don't know how you rate a movie as far as humor. Because if you have one guy who thinks it's funny, well, then I guess it's not totally bad sense of humor because someone got it.
Cold Eternal. Let me be clear. My heart rate never increases.
Mine either.
when it comes to these,
I think that's what people don't understand.
People think it does because
we have fun with this. We legitimately enjoy this.
Yeah, but this is fun for me. This is why we do this. So my heart rate does not increase at all.
I've been having heated discussions like this with my best friends since I was fucking 8 years old.
Yeah, this is what nerds fucking do. We do this.
I used to argue about fucking Risk, like throwing shit, yelling, and then at the end of the day, we go ahead and have a beer, like over Risk. Playing. I mean, we used to love playing Risk. I think anything I've ever been into, dude.
Risk
look at sports, dude. Look at sports.
Yeah, right.
Like if you're a fan of sports, dude, we'll sit there in sports bars and scream and yell at each other, and then hold hands or shoulders or whatever as we walk out of the bar. Like, dude, I mean, it's just, I don't know. It's some people enjoy, some don't. I wish people could understand though that like legitimately when we're off the air, we're like, can't wait to talk to you again next week, brother. Like, you know.
Well, yeah, but it's also the same thing. Off the air, you and I are messaging each other and
talking shit.
Yeah, Evil Dead.
We already talk shit about Evil Dead.
Yeah, and you're like, I can't wait to yell at you on Wednesday. Like,
yeah, like we look forward to this shit.
Yeah.
I can't explain exactly why, but we do.
He says, DJ, so you're basically putting this Evil Dead in the same category as Terrifier, weak or non-existent script, gore, but with great camera work. Fair.
Kind of.
The thing about Terrifier,
because the thing is, and I do kind of too, but they're different.
I've come up on Terrifier a little bit,
but what they're trying to accomplish is very different too.
Yeah. Terrifier is definitely a splatter film.
This is not a splatter.
This is not a splatter film. And so that's why, and that's what's kind of, Terrifier has come up one tick on my,
plus Terrifier is all Art the Clown. It's all about art. Art the Clown, it's like Nightmare on Elm Street. If Freddy is not entertaining or good in the movie, the movie's not worth seeing. It's like that is the central figure. So this is a movie that's very different because there isn't just one key figure that kind of makes or breaks the movie. This is like more of like an assemblage of, I don't know, man. Like I almost felt like this movie is an experience, and like that's what I appreciate about it, and I think it did well. That's why I put it where I do, because I felt like it was an experience, and I understand where you're coming from, even if I don't agree with it, because if that experience was broken by something like it was for you with the script, then it's, you know what I mean? Like, because this is the kind of movie that, because it doesn't have that central figure, the entire movie has to kind of be like, you know what I mean? Like a haunted house almost, you know, like it's an environment, a mood, you know?
Flytrap Jones says, Rolling Stone critic David Fear said, please stop making Evil Dead movies. He said they traded in camp, pomp and circumstance for over-the-top gore and cruelty. Thoughts?
Well, he's a pussy. Because nobody is really that actually is a horror fan and enjoys gory, brutal movies has a problem with that at all in this movie.
Careful.
Like, you might want to change things about it, but no big horror fans want them to take away the gore and the brutality.
So I think
like that's not anybody's real problem.
I would agree with that critic by saying that I would like more camp in Evil Dead.
No, and I'm not saying that. I'm saying he's a pussy for saying that. Like that's irrelevant. Like what he could have said it is only that. You know what I mean? Like it's missing the camp. They need to bring back the camp. Then I'd be like, yeah, okay, I get that.
That's what he's saying.
He's saying no. He said they replaced it with gore and this and that. And it's like, well, that's fine that shit's there. It's just you want more of the camp. Like you saying it like the gore and the brutality and all of that is bad. Nobody's got an issue. Like no real horror fans, at least not the ones that enjoy like brutal horror, have a problem with that.
Not that it's well, hang on. Not that it's there, but that it became the central focus of the movie instead of the camp and pomp and circumstance.
The whole entire franchise changed, and some people are going to be on board with that and some aren't. You know, like 2013 is where it changed, and I appreciate that. I like that, because if Raimi is not going to be making them himself, no one else is going to get the tone that Raimi does. And so, like, if he's not going to make them, it's what I say with any franchise, right? If you're not going to evolve and do something different, then don't fucking do it. And so, like, this is going to work for some and not for others. But like, I am totally
there's-
good with what they're doing. Even if I didn't like what they were doing, I'd still be good with what they're doing because they're doing something different, and it's fine. Raimi's not making them, so like, don't copy Raimi.
Right, but that doesn't mean you have to sacrifice it. Like that doesn't mean you have to do something completely different. You can just do your version of a campy pomp and circumstance horror movie.
I think we will see that. I think we will see if this continues to go. We'll see, because from what I know from behind the scenes stuff is what Raimi and everybody behind the scenes, what they're trying to do is kind of like give these young different filmmakers a chance to make an Evil Dead. So try to keep it in this universe, right? But make their movie with their taste and what they think. And so like, you're going to probably have a filmmaker who is leaning more into the camp and more, because that's what they see, that they appreciate and want to focus on, right? With this one, Vanacek said like his whole goal was to make the meanest, goriest, brutal Evil Dead. Like that's what he wanted to do. He didn't have any desire to like, he tried to add some humor, and I like the humor he added, but that was not his focus. His focus was the brutal, mean quality. Like that's all that mattered to him. And so like, I think that's cool. Like, and some of them are I think there'll be some that you might like more than me and vice versa if they keep going down this road, because they're just kind of almost doing what VHS does, where they're giving these different young filmmakers a chance to come in and like make their movie.
Yeah. Gaston says maybe they were just trying to make a more action-packed Evil Dead like Aliens did compared to Alien, obviously without comparing the quality. Yeah, no, we've
It's
been
just a
talking
totally
about,
different filmmaker.
like we've been talking about, the success of Evil Dead 2013 inspired a lot of people to make Evil Dead like Evil Dead 2013, and that's and that's the complaint that the Rolling Stone reviewer or critic had, was that he didn't like how 2013 did its thing, and then everybody is now thinking, oh, Evil Dead has to be this extreme gore.
But what's funny is these movies are less than 2013, because 2013 had almost no camp and almost no humor. There's a little tiny bit.
Yeah, but I wouldn't say
very, very little.
Burn is fucking gnarly. Like 2013 had a couple.
But there's a lot of, even
if
you don't think it's funny, there was a lot of camp in Burn. There's a lot of campy
no, there's
stuff.
not. There's no camp.
Dude, the grandma taking her teeth out and seeing the long string of spit, super campy. Like there's plenty of stuff, dude. Rewatch it. There's a lot of campy stuff.
Right. It's okay. Camp deals with tone, and the fact that, like I said, the tone of this movie.
I got to wrap it up, dude. Like I got 20 minutes.
No, let's get out of here. No, let's just wrap it up. It's fine. We have exhausted fucking Evil Dead Burn, so it's fine. But hey,
and what's funny is we didn't really spoil it.
Yeah, thank God.
Like we did a good job. Like we didn't really get into any spoiler stuff, so I think we did a good job.
Yeah. Well, hey, look, thanks everybody for coming and sticking around for all of this. We know that you guys love this. We know that this is what entertains you on your Wednesdays.
It's like anything. Some people get it, some people don't. Some people think we're a bad podcast. Some people think we're good. I think it's a preference thing.
Right. Well, I think we're objectively good. Anyway, and whether you like us or not,
I think we're objectively 100% ourselves.
Yeah, that's true. And whether you like that or not, we will be back next Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. on the West Coast, 12 a.m. or 1 a.m. over there in the UK, 10:36 a.m. in crazy Aussie land. This is the Death Rattle Podcast, and we will see y'all next week. Bye.
Love you guys.